Trimark Films proudly presents.
You thought he was gone, but now he's back. The FanZcene monster Greg is here.
Starring Dean Cameron.
Yes. If he's listening.
I swear that I don't know what happened, but like he kind of like had a big old, just like, I guess the algorithm or whatever, it just like boom, there he was everywhere.
I think we had something to do with that, but who knows? We could be wrong. I like to think so.
I like to too. But welcome, hello, fellow followers, and welcome back to the Physical Media Show. Tonight with me, as always, is Tom and Runner. How you guys doing tonight?
I'm doing all right.
Stupendous.
Been pretty exhausted.
Yeah, I'm exhausted too.
Had a day. Yeah, it's been quite a day, let me tell you guys. I'm pretty exhausted as well too. Well, hail to everybody in the chat. We got deleted scenes here. It says, here we go. Cosmic Squirrel, greetings from the cosmos. Random Brad, what's up, Random Brad? Sends good vibes. Tyrell72, what's up, man? Evening, all he says. Greetings from Dan Blackroyd. Too much running. And hail from Close 00000. I hope I always say your name. I don't know if I ever say your name right. If I don't, I apologize. If I don't say it right, I'm sorry.
Honestly, it's not enough running. It's mostly from work.
Been there. What's up, Hank VP? Says hello to everybody. To all you in the chat, thank you for hanging with us. All you guys watching, thank you for tuning in. Hope we put on a good show for you guys tonight. So, you guys want to talk about anything before we get started in all this?
Well, we did get finally the big announcement for Army of Darkness. I know that was a big deal.
Hell yeah.
On 4K, finally. Which we've talked, like you said, you've talked about on 4K for you.
Almost ad nauseum at this point. I think there's probably no movie that we've mentioned even more than that one at this point, maybe.
Right.
I was super happy about that announcement, even though I kind of wasn't too surprised. But like, is seriously, is that one set like sold out? Or
it was at one point, but we checked it today. It looked like it was still available.
They may have added some or had some cancellations. That happens.
Yeah.
Let me look real quick. So I'm on the Shout website right now.
Maybe the site crashed at one point, so they might have. Who knows? Because I gotta imagine this is one of the more popular ones they've ever had on there.
And because I was watching because I was watching you guys over at 4K for you, and on the set that you guys were talking about, it said like 8 discs. The single version has 4.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we just assume it's Blu-ray and 4K of each. Yeah, basically the same discs.
Yeah, but it looks like I don't know, because the only the like the just like the, what do you call it? Just the single
standalone.
The standalone box comes with 4 discs.
Yeah, and I'm assuming they're all 4K.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, they're all 4K?
That's my guess, is that they have 4 4K discs and 4 Blu-rays in the big edition. And as we noticed, like with their Evil Dead release, they're only putting the 4K version in that one.
Yeah, with that's the 2013.
Paramount's been doing that lately too.
Yeah. So
yeah,
I'm excited for that and The Fog on 4K because I love The Fog. I think it's one of his very most underrated horror films. It's just like this simple, classic horror tale. I love it.
There was some other one I just got too recently where it had the movie on 4K, but the disc that came with it was just the special features on Blu-ray. It didn't have a Blu-ray of the movie, though. Can't remember which one it was, but I think it was a Kino title. So, like, it's becoming more regular to get just a 4K disc and not a Blu-ray companion with it. So, be prepared for that to start happening, guys.
Yeah, because they started phasing out the Blu-ray DVD and started just making a Blu-ray. And then
not gonna lie, with was it Army of Darkness coming out on 4K? I would love for Shout to do a 4K transfer for Drag Me to Hell. That'd be great.
What did they do? They just recently did a special edition of that, didn't they?
Drag Me to Hell?
Yeah, didn't they?
They did a collector's edition on Blu-ray.
Yeah, but is it a 2K or 4K master? What does it say on it?
Let me look real quick.
Yeah, if you have it nearby, go for it.
Yeah.
Well, since we're sort of talking about this, and
sorry, I interrupted the announcement.
It says it's a 2K.
Yeah, then I wouldn't expect a 4K master anytime soon.
Well, no, since like we're doing it, I'll sort of do my first pick already. Since we're sort of talking about it.
Let's do it.
Since it's my army of
it's your boomstick, baby.
A boomstick. Shop smart. Shop smart.
Hell yeah, I have that one without the front cover.
We got 480p Greg there. It's awesome.
My internet's been out.
That today. Or your settings are too low. Wait, no, you checked it last time, didn't you? It's just your internet.
We had a tornado up here where I live, not very far from my house, so the internet lines are a little wonky right now. So
yeah, that's a great set right there, though. I remember getting that back when God, that's almost 5 years old now, isn't it?
Yeah,
more than that actually. This is the anniversary this year, isn't it? 92 it came
92
out, didn't it?
is the original release date, yeah. So that puts it at like what, 30 years?
God, has it been 30 years?
30 years. That's what I was saying. Even like I know like with the I Know You Did Last Summer, which is coming out on 4K, but 25 years ago, I'm like, I'm still like reeling over that.
Tell me about it. Jaws is coming up on its 50th.
I know, Jaws in 50, and then like even Casablanca, which I wouldn't have liked for that, is like 80 years.
Yeah, it's like 75th or 80th. Yeah. Yeah, and Wizard of Oz celebrated its 80th here recently too. I think it was, or this next year it is.
It's crazy. It's like time. Time doesn't seem like it was that long ago on some things. But
I remember celebrating like the 10th anniversary of shit, right? Like thinking that was forever.
It just boggles the mind, man, when you're like, no, I was just watching that like a year ago. There's no way that's 25 years old.
Right.
Or 30 years old. I mean, I was watching, Bruce Campbell's not even that old. Oh, yeah, he is.
So which cut do you prefer of the Army of Darkness?
I prefer the theatrical cut. That is the version I want. I mean, I'm glad to have that like on this set. I don't know if I'm still 480, but I'm glad to have it if you guys can all see all these cuts here. Director's cut, international cut, and the TV cut. But the theatrical cut will always be the best. It's got the best clips, best lines. I prefer that ending, but nothing against the other ending, but I prefer that ending. And I'm interested. It
flows the best, yeah.
Yeah. I'm just interested to see what the 4K scan will look like of this. So, because I cherish this Blu-ray. I mean, I got the slip. It's like 2 or 3 discs. I can't remember. I've watched it multiple times. So I'm excited to see what this 4K holds for us.
Yeah, Universal's been one of those companies where I've been kind of... I'm sure even though it's coming out from Shout, Universal's probably handling the 4K scan of it. If not, hopefully they do a good job and they get the negative, because I'm to the point where I think a lot of Universal's titles are not coming from the negatives. Like I'm almost convinced on that on some of them. And we'll actually get into that when we get to one of my picks too. But yeah, I mean, overall though, I can't wait to see what they do with it. But that's a great set there, and I'm assuming most of the special features from that, if not all of them, will be carried over. We already know we're getting 4 discs, and that's a 3-disc set right there.
Yeah, so that's 3-disc set.
We know that they're adding something as it is. So
I'm hoping we'll get some new special features like they're doing the first Child's Play. So
that, or what they'll probably do is they'll put all the movies on one disc and then the bonus features on another disc, and then we'll just get redos of the other 3 discs and the new special features on them.
Yeah,
but I don't know why they would do that on both a 4K and a Blu-ray, but
yeah,
we'll see, unless it's just because they're doing it because it's the massive box set. Yeah.
So we're hoping. And hail to you, Blood and Bruce. Welcome. And Anthony Draven. Welcome. Hail to you too, man. But yeah, that's sort of my first pick of the night. I figured usually we would go in a circle and everything, but since we're talking about that, I figured I'd bring it up first. Right. But yeah, we got that, and possibly Highlander, which we caught at the tail end of 4K.
At least the UK looks like it's getting.
Yeah, at least the UK is getting a 4K of Highlander. Which I did hear some while back that possibly a Best Buy steelbook. So maybe, I don't know, who knows about that.
That was the initial deal we had heard, or at least it was like going to be a Best Buy exclusive or something like that. Steelbook. Yeah.
I hate when they do that too. Because
they did it with Dirty Dancing and a few other movies too. So it would make complete sense. And Studio Canal would be releasing it, aka Lionsgate over here. So
I'm really hoping it's more than just a Best Buy exclusive, because they take. It's just like if you don't get to them in time, they're gone, and they're gone forever.
Well, they sometimes re-release them, but not getting them in that cover anymore anyway.
Yeah, none that or that set like that. But Klaus says, Klaus. I'm not really sure what I'm saying here, but says, I'm really looking forward to Casablanca, one of the best movies I've ever watched. Now there are no such dialogues in films anymore. That's true. Like the dialogue in films ain't punchy anymore.
No, they think they're clever a lot of times, and they're not
and
so much.
They're just not, yeah. And speaking of dialogue in film, Army of Darkness, some of the best
some great
one-liners and dialogue that you could get.
Jack you got shit. Real ugly, baby.
Yeah. You found me beautiful once. You ain't leading Jack and shit, and Jack just left town.
Yeah. Shop smart. Shop S smart.
That was a great film. And then what else was there? We talked a lot about these earlier, but Cool World and Platoon.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to Cool World, but like you said, I would like to have gotten Cool World on 4K.
Terminator was the Funky Rumor one that we're not sure.
Yeah, the Funky Rumor was possibly Terminator 1 and 2. 4K. I would put more stock in Part 1.
Yeah.
Like you said, for Arrow films, maybe.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. I just couldn't see them. Like you said, James Cameron, he's such a... with what he is. He just now finished The Abyss. I mean, The Abyss has probably been done years ago. You know what I mean? But yeah, there's that. And well, that's about it for all the new upcoming releases and my first pick of the night. And Runner's not with us at the moment. So Tom, you want to go ahead and show us your first pick of the night?
Yeah. This was a movie. Okay, this is an odd story. I have to kind of give a story on this one.
Go ahead.
Because I'm not even sure if people really know much about this movie. I'm going to start with the new film. This is a Blu-ray, and I'm upset that Sony didn't put this out on 4K because there is a 4K digital version. But evidently they just didn't release a 4K Blu-ray. But I used to drive. One of my jobs was driving disabled kids back and forth from a special school. My kid was one of them. And I hit a spot in heading north where I would not get any radio stations whatsoever. So the only one I could get was this religious station, but it just so happened to be like a talk radio religious station. It wasn't like your typical, music and sermons and all that kind of shit. It was actually like talk radio. And so sometimes some of the topics I could get into and, whatever. I mean, I'm not an overtly religious person. I don't not believe in it, but I'm not like devout or anything. I was raised Irish Catholic, but not something I normally get into because the old saying, you don't get into politics, sports, or religion, and you keep more friends that way. No, so all of a sudden, all of a sudden as I'm listening to this, so recently I was on a trip and I happened to be in a similar spot where I couldn't get any radio stations and flipping through and just happened to catch this station again. And I'm like, kind of old times listening to it. And during listening to it, there was a commercial for a movie. And, they do normally push like a lot of these religious films on here. So like I didn't think nothing of it at first. Then I heard the name Mark Wahlberg mentioned and all this kind of stuff and a few other things. And I'm like, okay, this kind of sounds like an interesting idea. So I went and checked out the trailer and I'm noticing it's like rated R. I'm like, holy shit, they're actually advertising it on that channel and it was rated R. So I had to see this movie, right? And if you don't know what this movie is, it's called Father Stew. Now, this is probably one of the more undersung gems of this year. It's based on a true story. And I did do some checking. And although they do amalgamize and really compress a lot of shit in this movie, a good portion of it is true. Like, it's actually shit that happened. And it sends you for a whirlwind through the whole damn thing. And it's a very enjoyable film. It's got Mel Gibson in it, along with Mark Wahlberg. And Malcolm McDowell's in it as well. It's a very it does not feel like it's pushing religion down your throat. In fact, in researching the actual Father Stew, there was a bunch of shit they could have put in this movie to kind of push the idea even more so. But it really doesn't, it's not so much about because okay, I got to kind of tell the story of what it's about to kind of so you guys get the context real quick. But basically, as you can see just from the cover, it's kind of obvious. Mark Wahlberg plays this character named Stu, who's, like I said, is actually a real person who spent most of his life trying to be like a boxer and an actor and all these things and never really doing anything good. And his family was like broken up because he lost his brother when he was young. And thank you, Six. And well, he did tell me about this movie, and it was a good movie.
I've heard really good things about this movie.
And basically,
I saw
he gets
a trailer for it. It looked good.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that leads up to it, but he's not. His whole family has been very against religion since they lost his little brother, and his father, played by Mel Gibson, is kind of estranged. And there's this whole kind of dynamic of him just not really getting his shit together his whole life. He's constantly getting busted for driving drunk and doing stupid shit like that. And, you know, he's not a bad person overall, but like, so then he ends up meeting this girl and gets sucked into this whole idea of Catholicism and everything like that. And there's a whole bunch of events that happen to him in his life that just kind of lead him towards this road of deciding that he's going to be a priest, and the challenges that he faces, and the idea that he does not like to be told no or he can't do something. Like he's a very stubborn individual, and he loves to argue, and he uses all his skills that made him a smartass and a pain in the ass to deal with to be a very good priest, basically. And it's a really great story. It's kind of a tearjerker in a way, but it's got a lot of funny, real moments. Mel Gibson is great in it. Of course, Mark Wahlberg is good in it too. It's got a pretty decent supporting. Like Malcolm McDowell took me by surprise when he showed up. I'm like, oh shit!
Yeah, I wouldn't expect
McDowell's
him in that.
And not only is he in it, he's in it for quite a bit of the film too. So he plays a pretty major role. So like, yeah, and I mean, it's a very well done film. I can't recommend it enough. It was really good. I enjoyed it quite a bit.
I've been wanting to see it too. That's on my list because I've heard really great things about that.
I saw a trailer for it when I was watching some movie this year in the theater.
Yeah, it didn't do very well in the theaters. It just kind of came and went, but yeah.
Yeah. But it looks really good. That's great. I didn't know Malcolm McDowell was in. I knew Mel Gibson and Mark Wahlberg, but I didn't know Malcolm McDowell. So that's really great. It's a great cast. It's a great story. Sounds like a great movie. See, we're not just all like horror and B movies here.
And I recommend don't look up anything about his life before you see it if you don't know anything about it, because this was an actual story where it sent me for some, like, it almost leads you down this path where you think the movie's going to go just for logic reasons. And it doesn't. Like, it takes you into some different places and challenges you in ways that I can't really explain without giving away too much of the movie. But like, you just got to kind of remind yourself that this shit's real. I mean, they do it. Like I said, things are kind of amalgamized and squeezed into a smaller time frame. But I mean, again, after looking it up, it's like, I can't believe more shit wasn't in this movie. But after you see the film, do yourself a favor and check into the real guy, because he's a very interesting individual. So yeah, I can't recommend it enough. I'd give it definitely like an 8 out of 10, somewhere in that range. So yeah, I don't know if I'd say it's Oscar caliber. It's definitely Oscar bait, but I don't think it's going to get any kind of.
Well, probably especially with the message that's a part of it.
Yeah, I think it got lambasted by the critics, and that's probably, which is weird, because like I said, they could have really amped up the message, and the message is not really so much you should believe in God or be a Catholic or any of that shit. That's not really so much the message of the movie once you see it. It's not to give too much away, but more of the message is just about family and acceptance, and you know, it's more about kind of setting up this idea of, you know, Stu's looking for the acceptance that he never gotten and love that he never got in his family, more so, and he kind of feels it from God at one point, he says, kind of thing. And it's kind of more about that and more about the family structure than it is about religion and shoving it down people's throats or any of that, right? So like, you know, that's one thing I can say. So, and if you're not somebody who's very religious, I think you'll be able to watch this film and not feel like you're being preached to or toyed with in any way.
I'm definitely going to be checking it out. And that kind of to go along with sort of the cheesy 80s movie that I watched, except maybe a bit of a flip side to it.
Well, I can't wait to see that, but I believe Runner is next.
Yes. So what do you got, Runner? Yes.
All right, so I watched this movie a few weeks ago. I hadn't showed it before, but yeah, I actually got to this. I think I remember this one was like one of like Tom's first picks in like the first episode he was in this show, but I got to watching this, and that is Smokey and the Bandit.
I love Smokey.
Got your ears on?
Come back, Smokey, or the Bandit.
Snowman.
This is a good movie. I have
What
not
she got
seen
on?
that.
Her mind?
I've not seen that movie in so long, but it's such a damn good movie. Burt Reynolds is just like talk about freaking cool. Exactly. The one guy I always remember him. I mean, I know he's in it, but I always remember him from The Water Boy. Is his buddy? I can never remember that guy's name. He's a singer and everything too. What's up, Horror Mike? How you been? He says, just dropping by to say hi. Currently live on another show. Have a good one. Well, you have a good show on your show too. But yeah, Runner, what did you think of it?
I enjoyed it. I laughed a few times.
It's good.
I forgot at which parts, but like I think there's one scene in particular that really cracked me up.
What was it?
I forgot. I forgot which one it was. I said that.
I remember the. Do you ever see the Family Guy where they made fun of it? Where Burt Reynolds, the Bandit, drops off Stewie, and he goes, "You have a good one, kid." And Stewie's like, "Yeah, you have a good one with that hot Sally Field ass." He's like, yeah. He's like, I know.
That sounds familiar. I haven't watched Family Guy in a while, but
that's old Family Guy from a long time ago.
No, old shit.
I just got back. I'm in the background screaming, Jerry Reed, Jerry Reed, and Steven gets me here before I get
Jerry Reed.
No, but like
I could never remember that guy's name.
Like older Family Guy, Greg was like always my favorite, and then I just kind of like tapped out from there.
Yeah,
really, but like. I mean, I haven't seen Family Guy in a while, probably because.
Well, Jackie Gleason is the best part of the movie.
Oh yeah,
come on,
bitches.
Buford T. Justice.
He is so great in that movie.
Ain't no way you come from my loins. When we get home, I'm gonna punch your mama in the mouth.
He stills that movie, man, and Burt Reynolds.
I got a sixth sense. Well, I ain't no good. I'd rather have a dime, Daddy.
Buford T. Justice guy was really good. I agree.
Yeah. Renner has no idea who that is, who Jackie Gleason is.
I've heard the name.
He's from the Honeymooners.
Yes, exactly. Some bitch.
Get that some bitch.
Get that some bitch.
What the hell's a Texas County Monty doing out here? I'm in hot pursuit.
I love you. Gotta have the accents in there too, because that's what helps sells the movie so too. Oh, I love that.
Don't you be cursing on this here radio.
Rudder, you got to add some to the conversation here.
I've seen the movie too many times, Runner, man. You got to keep up.
I
dude.
know. I've only seen it once.
So I can't. Smokey in the Bandit. Wait till you see the sequel, which is bad, and then the third one's even worse.
Yeah, Smokey is the Bandit.
Did I even watch him?
He's the Bandit. I would hope if we ever get to see the alternate version of that, that'd be amazing.
That would be great. I would love
version
to see
of what?
Smokey and the Bandit 3. And I guess it's been confirmed a few times by people. The urban legend for years was they shot a version of the movie where Jackie Gleason plays both parts. And a test audience found it so confusing and stupid that they went back and got Jerry Reed to come in and play the Bandit this time out in the third film. Because it was so confusing that Jackie Gleason had like this multiple personality thing going on where he had to create the Bandit in his mind, or he would go and it was like a really fucked up scenario. And it was one of those mythic movies that everybody thought there's no way that could exist. And I guess there was a few people who had confirmed that, yes, they did do that. And they went back and reshot it with Jerry Reed. So like originally the whole thing is like that whole bit at the end with Burt Reynolds was the only part before where like he would fade in and out from talking to himself or whatever and seeing the Bandit or whatever. It was like this whole thing that he created in his head because he couldn't let it go.
I would love to see that. It sounds back.
I know,
crazy,
right? Like that's
but
something
I
for
would love to
Shout
see
or
it.
Kino to get their hands on. Is
Exactly.
like, I want to see Smokey is the Bandit. Damn it! Like, does that actually exist? We never got Jaws 3 People Zero. Damn it! I would love to have gotten that, but we never did. For those who don't know, that was originally what Jaws 3 was going to be. Because the creators of the first two films, the producers, are like, we've done everything we can here with these first two movies. The only way we can see by doing this is like doing an airplane spoof. And we'll call it Jaws 3 People Zero. And they actually had one of the, I can't remember his name, but some guy from like Mad Magazine or National Lampoon, I think it was, I can't remember who, come in and wrote a script for him. And it's out there. You can find the script. Maybe it was even John Hughes or somebody famous who worked on this script. Because I've seen the script. And that's all that exists of it. But they got, as far as the script, and the studio's like, no, we're not doing this. So the producers left. And then the version of Jaws 3 we got was the studio produced version in 3D that Joe Alves directed. But yeah, originally they were going to do a spoof for the third film. But we never even got close. That would have been amazing. Yeah.
That would have been. Hey, Movies Maniac 96, welcome.
Wow, we got a lot of new faces tonight. That's awesome.
I know, I'm liking that. I love when we get new people in here. But yeah, I love Smokey and the Bandit. I would love to see that Smokey and the Bandit 3. Have you ever seen the Smokey and the Bandit TV movies?
Yes, I have. Well, I haven't seen them, but I have the DVDs with all of them.
I was going to say, I saw that DVD and I wanted to pick it up, but I didn't know if they were worth it. And I kind of regret passing on it because I haven't been able to find it since.
It's kind of not what you expect. Because I was like, wow, they must have done these like way back in the 80s or something like that. No. Because I thought what it was is like this backdoor pilot from like the 90s.
Yeah.
For like CMT.
Oh, really? For CMT?
Yeah. Like, I don't know if it was, but like that's what it felt like. I watched like the first 5 minutes of one. It's kind of like it's not, I don't know if it's a reboot necessarily. I'm trying to remember if it like treats the other movies like they happened, but it clearly takes place in the 90s or whatever it is when they made them. There's like 4 of them. They really tried hard to make this a show, and it just never took off.
That's crazy.
But I can imagine it was for like CMT or whatever, because CMT was showing Smokey and the Bandit like every 2
day.
hours. Like, you used to be able to flip on TBS and Jaws would be on, while you could flip over to CMT and Smokey and the Bandit would be on.
It's true.
For years, it felt like that way. But yeah.
And I seen what's her name from Saved by the Bell, and Showgirls was in one. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but that's interesting. I still kind of want to see them because I just want to see how bad they are.
Yeah, I didn't make it very far.
Well, then I probably wouldn't make it very far either.
I was like, yeah, I'm glad I got it because I think I got it for like $7.
Oh man, that's good. Well, that's a good pickup because it's like comes with like the first 3 movies too, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, not that I care about those. I already have them, but like that's kind of my same thing with Psycho. That's what sucks about Psycho is the only way you can get Bates Motel, the TV movie. I don't know if you ever heard of that.
Yes, I have that.
Is in that fucking that DVD set, right?
Yeah, so it's like,
with
all 4 of them and then that.
So you end up paying, like that one was one I think I ended up paying like $20 just to get that movie, and I'm like,
oh really? I think I spent like $10 on mine.
Maybe 10. Maybe it was only 10, but I know I was kind of like pissy about it. I'm like, I just want fucking Bates Motel.
I know.
I actually remember that as a kid.
Yeah. I vaguely remembered it, but that's why I bought the set too. It's like, well, I guess I'll just get these, even though all of them are on Blu-ray now.
Well, speaking of, they did finally release Smokey and the Bandit 2 and 3 in the U.S. after I imported them from, I think it was Imprint or somebody who did
on
them.
4K now?
No, they're just in 2K. Did I say 4K? I'm sorry.
No, I was just wondering because I know.
No, they're just standard Blu-ray.
Oh.
And I think they're just the movie and a trailer, just like the imports I got. That's why I haven't bought them. So I can't. I doubt they're even new scans, to be honest.
Probably the same. Probably
that
the
was
same
my
ones.
guess.
Yeah, but great
2
pickups.
is okay. Runner, I would suggest 2 is okay. 3 is funny just for like morbid curiosity.
Yeah,
3 is like it's so bad. It's like
3 is really bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
I might check them out at some point. You've
2 is kind of fun.
Me.
2 is kind of fun, but it's definitely one of those overblown sequels.
Yeah.
Because you could tell they spent twice as much on it, and they add Dom DeLuise to the mix. And the whole gimmick of the movie is he's got to take this pregnant elephant across the country. And it's kind of, it's not as good as the first one, but it has its moments.
Yeah, it's one of the ones like, now our first movie
it's a bit more zany.
So we're going to go overboard.
Yeah, it's much more zany. It has that sequelitis of it about itself.
Yeah. But good pickups there, Movies Maniac with Batman on 4K and the Phantasm 5 disc Blu-ray collection. That's good pickups. And
Nice.
Cool.
Dan Blackbird says Cruel Jaws better be a pickup now runner. Pick now runner.
Cruel
Spoiler
Jaws.
alert! I don't have Cruel Jaws. Sorry.
Not since Cruel Jaws have we had a movie as good as Morbius.
Now I want to watch Cannonball Run. You guys have me wanting to watch
I got
Cannonball
those
Run
two.
now.
The one is an import, though. I don't know.
Is one on Blu-ray here in America or just an import?
I'm trying to remember which one it is. I think one is the import, to be honest with you.
Dang.
I can't remember now. I'd have to
I
go
got to
look.
thinking about that after he started talking to these movies.
Maybe it's part 2 is the import. I can't remember which one, but one of them I had to import. But I do have 1 and 2.
Yeah.
I don't have that weird third one with John Candy, though.
Oh, yeah. Really? I didn't even know there was a third one with John Candy.
Yeah, it's called Speed Zone in most places, but it was actually technically Cannonball Run 3 and a lot of others.
Huh.
And it was John Candy, and I think it was a Canadian-made film. I don't even know if it's ever even got a DVD release before, to be honest with you. But it's usually under the title Speed Zone, but in some places you can find it released as Cannonball Run 3 Speed Zone.
I'll have to look for that.
But yeah, Cannonball Run is basically Wacky Races, the movie. Yes.
Yeah.
There used to be this tradition, right? Like, you had like your exactly. You had like It's a Mad World. Then you had Cannonball Run kind of take its place, and then in the 2000s you had Rat Race.
Yeah.
You know, you always kind of had these kind of movies. They tried to do that with Tower Heist, and it didn't quite work. Although I enjoyed the film, it just didn't work. You know, domestic, and you know, in the box office anyway.
Yeah.
But, okay, so Cannonball 1 is the one that okay, so it's the second one I had to import.
Okay. But yeah, and then like I just saw another movie like that too.
Jackie Chan's in the first one, right?
Yeah, Jackie Chan's
one?
in the first one, I think.
That was when they tried to bring him to the U.S. the first time. I don't know if you're aware of that, Runner.
Yeah.
But they tried making Jackie Chan happen a couple times.
Sadly, Victor Fontaine, I still have not. I keep missing on. I mean, I got the Phantasm movies, but I've always wanted the Sphere set. So.
The Sphere set, there's not much difference in it.
Yeah, I just like the Sphere personally.
Yeah, but you could probably find that someplace by itself.
Yeah.
The one you get in that box set is kind of chintzy plastic, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And the fucking blades keep falling out on me.
Oh, that sucks.
Well, because when it comes in the box, it's all taken apart. And you have to put it together.
Oh.
And they kind of just slide in, and if they don't hook just right, they're kind of wobbly. And yeah.
Huh.
And you can kind of see the seam in the ball, too, so that's kind of unseemly.
Unseemly. The seam in the ball. But yeah, like speaking of Rat Race, I just what did one of my Kino Lorbers? It was the Body Slam. There was a commercial. They had a trailer for a movie that I was like, "That's Rat Race." And I cannot remember the name of the movie. It's like, and they were the trailer for it said they were actually giving away $1 million.
Oh, it's the $1 Million Mystery.
Yes, the $1 Million Mystery. That's what it was.
I have that movie coming from Kino. We've been talking about that on and off here and there. Because
like
famously, I believe the movie cost them more money giving away the fucking money and all that shit than it actually made in the theaters. And the funny thing was, I think like a 10-year-old kid ended up finding the money or some shit like that. Yeah,
that's nice.
If I remember correctly, like there's a whole thing on like IMDb about it or whatever. But like, yeah, like in the trivia section. But no, that's what the movie's more famous for, is that it cost the studio more money than they actually made.
Well, we promised $1 million, so we lost more than that.
Yeah, because I think it only made like $500,000 at the box office. It was like no, maybe not that much, but it was not very much. And then yeah, they still ended up having to give away the $1 million, and the movie cost like a couple million or whatever to make. And yeah, it was very rat racy kind of movie.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's what it reminded me.
You can almost kind of consider Clue like kind of one of those movies too.
Yeah, I would sort of say.
Even though it's in one destination, but
they're like running from room to room trying to figure it all out.
Well, you have the whole idea of all this, like these big actors all kind of together.
Oh yeah, come together. Doing
kind of a goofy Mad Hap kind of story, mystery kind of thing.
That's
but anyhow, that's a good pick, Runner.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Now, I got a question for you. Did your 4K Blu-ray make funky noises in your player when you tried to watch it?
Now that I think about it, that's a good question, because I don't know if it was for that movie or some different movie. I'm
because I bought it and I had to take it back, and it's still the second version I got, same fucking problem. It goes when you start it up.
Oh man.
And I'm like, what the fuck? Which means the disc is probably off balance, so it's clearly a manufacturer issue. It doesn't bother the playing of the movie, but it does kind of get annoying because it is kind of like a as the movie gets going. And I've tried it in 2 different players, and it does it in both. So I just was curious if it was all the discs or just the ones in my area from the same printer. Because the funny thing is I'm trying to remember. I think I ordered the one offline. I think I did, because I had to order because I didn't have any more at Walmart. So I'm like, this can't be from the same issue unless they only had one manufacturing company. I don't know, just weird. So maybe sometime if you watch it again, pay attention to see if it makes a lot of noise. Do you watch it in your Xbox or do you watch it in a regular player?
I watched it. I have a Sony.
PS5.
No, not a PS5.
Oh, just a player.
Just a Sony 4K player.
Oh, okay.
I don't have a PS5. If I did, that'd be fucking something.
Well, it made more noise in my Xbox. That was the funky thing. Of course, that's probably because it's more free than it is because that's the slide-in part, not the actual disc drawer. So
yeah, mine has the disc drawer, so I don't know. I feel like it did, but I honestly don't remember. Yeah. I gotta, but I do gotta rewatch the movie because there wasn't a whole lot I can really talk about. But I just brought it on to like tell you guys, hey.
Well, that's still a good movie.
It's definitely a movie of its time, though. That's for sure.
It is. It is. And the deleted scene says his Blu-ray player is just as finicky. And Tyrell72 says he has a few discs that do that on his Sony BD player.
Weird.
Interesting. Okay, I guess we'll go to me. Hopefully my camera isn't 480p again. Here's a bit of the flip side to Tom's Father Stu. So I have Girlfriend from Hell from Culture Shock releasing this movie. Oh, I love this movie. This movie is so cheesy.
I think I have
so
that
great.
one, but I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, I finally got it. I ordered this so freaking long ago, and it finally came, and I didn't even get the slipcover, which that sucked. But
that sucks. I got the slipcover, I think.
Yeah, I didn't get the slipcover, but I got the reversible artwork inside at least, so I could, on this side. But this movie, oh my god, it's the I just watch it. I laugh. It's such a funny, great, cheesy '80s horror comedy B movie. It's the girl from Critters 2, Leanne Curtis. She plays like this really like nerdy girl who her friends are trying to set up on a blind date at a birthday party, and then she gets possessed by the devil. And this guy from Twin Peaks, I can't remember his name, but he's like a bounty hunter sent by God to kill the devil.
Jeez.
But he's also in love with her. So the devil is a woman in this, but they're like, yeah, she's his ex-girlfriend, and they've been chasing each other for millennia. He's been chasing the killer after he ran out on her, and God told him to kill her. So and then all kinds of crazy shit happens. She bones these 4 guys and sucks their souls out of them as she bones them. I'm saying bones. How old am I?
You said bone.
Said bone.
Yeah, you said suck before that, man. Yeah.
And
he actually said suck out. Yeah.
So it's basically sort of contained at times in this house, but she tries to run over nuns with the car, and the nuns are armed like Rambo and start firing at her. And then the guy, the bounty hunter, and the girl. It's the girl from Freddy's Dead, the one whose dad messed with her. She's the boxer.
Oh yeah, I can't think of her fucking name.
I can't think of her name, but she's her best friend. So her and the bounty hunter end up, going through this journey trying to stop her, and it's just funny and cheesy, and it's a great '80s flick. But like I said, it's the flip side to Father Stu because they tried to make the devil a little sympathetic with her being a brokenhearted girl. But then at the end, it is all what it is. I don't want to spoil too much, but yeah, it's pretty funny. It's got its moments. It's right up there with some of the best '80s cheesy movies I've seen. So if you have not seen it and you get a chance to, check it out.
Seems like a lot of people in our audience have dated her.
Yeah, trust me. I'm pretty sure that's what they were going for in this, because like even at the end of the movie, after the credits, it says dedicated to all the girlfriends from hell. So she's definitely plays it up like she's that crazy, like loudmouth. They take her to the restaurant. All she does is drink wine. She cusses at the waiters. She threatens to beat everybody up. So yeah, I think a lot of people may have dated somebody like that at some point in time. But it's a good movie. When you get a chance to watch it, Tom, I think you'll enjoy it.
Yeah, it looks like one that was going to be fun. So
Yeah,
I can't wait to
it's
check
a
it
fun
out.
one. Yeah.
So, you know me, I love the cheesy B movies.
Yeah, it's cheesy B movies. And speaking of like how you talked about earlier,
yeah,
awkward boob scenes. There's an awkward boob scene in this, which honestly I did not expect. I mean, it is rated R, but the way the movie sets up, it's sort of like in the vein of like My Demon Lover, something like that. So I didn't expect to see boobs. So like when they show this like chick come out at a strip club and her boobs come out, it's like I honestly didn't expect that scene to be in this movie.
You guys will get context on that in my last pick, mind you. So you'll know what we're talking about then.
Yeah.
But anyway.
So, but yeah, if you've never seen that, what's up, Peter Venkman fan site? Glad to have you here. If you guys
that was part of the Vinegar Syndrome sale, but I think they're done now, aren't they?
Yeah. That was one of the two I bought for Vinegar Syndrome that I ordered so long ago, and it finally came.
Wow, I'm surprised it took so long, because technically the ones that I got and sent you got here quicker.
Oh yeah, you got yours way before me.
I mean, I had a huge order too. So.
Yeah. But I was so glad to get this. I wish I would have got the slipcover, but I did not, unfortunately. But yes, this is a great cheesy B 80s movie. If you've not seen it, you'll have fun with it. It's just a fun watch. But yeah, don't expect it to be very friendly towards religion, though, because it is the devil. It is the devil. So you might want to watch it.
I gotta imagine that religion say it wins out at the end. I gotta imagine.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's not like they really put, like, once again, you don't want to like politics and religion. You don't talk about that with your friends. So it's like
it's just always a good old age rule.
Yeah. So it's not like they really put people down or Christianity down or anything like that. It's just basically like she's an annoying ex-girlfriend. Basically, essentially, who's like, even like the people.
I'm surprised they didn't play with the whole idea of her getting PMS. I'm sure there's a few jokes in there.
I'm sure there is. There really isn't, honestly. Other than just
really, wow.
Yeah. Other than like, oh, she's just been drinking. That's all. It's like, why is Maggie acting so weird all of a sudden? I think she's just been drinking.
I'm surprised I didn't go with that.
So yeah, there's that, and it's just a fun watch, and basically like they said, like even like with the Christianity stuff, they treat her like she's just like this annoying girl that they had to get rid of.
All right.
So yeah, it's a good one. All right, Random Brad, you'll definitely enjoy that. You put that on your list. I know you'll enjoy that. What's up, Martin? Glad to see you here.
Greetings.
Yeah. So I was actually going to do it because I did bring a sweet innocent movie myself, but after you brought up Father Stu, I figured that might be a nice yin.
Got to counterbalance it.
Yeah. So, and I definitely want to see Father Stu. Though I've heard a lot of.
Yeah, it was a lot better than I thought it was.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought it was going to be all right anyway, but I bought it kind of blindly, and I'm not disappointed. I'm more disappointed that we didn't get a 4K release of it.
Yeah, you would think.
So I think I got it for like $15, I think, on sale at Walmart one week, but I think it's normally 20. But
it's like you said. I guess it didn't do so well, so they didn't give it a 4K.
No, probably not. It did digitally though, so go figure.
That's usually where you. Yeah.
It might only be 2K up convert anyway, for all we know. So
yeah, but
it's not like the movie's all that to where it screams out that it needs a 4K release. So,
yeah.
In fact, the only major complaint I will have is they do such a good job with certain aspects of makeup in this movie. When you see it, if you see it, you'll see some really bad makeup in certain other aspects, and you're just like, how did they fuck that up so bad, but yet get the other parts so good? It's like clearly there must have been two makeup people working on different parts of it. So you'll see what I mean when you actually see the film. I can't say because it gives too much away otherwise. But
I'm definitely going to watch it. It definitely seems like something I would watch with my dad and mom. So.
Oh yeah, even though it's rated R, it's definitely one of those kind of movies. It's only rated R mainly just because of language.
Yeah.
Because Mel Gibson and
the F
Mark
bombs.
Wahlberg. Yeah, they throw a lot of. Actually, I think the mom even does quite a few F bombs. So yeah, it's full of F bombs and stuff like that. But outside of that, no, it's one of those movies you can definitely watch with your folks.
And so that's cool. And this one here,
go ahead.
I was going to say this Girlfriend from Hell. It's a new 4K transfer on a Blu-ray disc.
That's one you probably wouldn't want to watch with your folks.
Yeah, no. Trust me, no, not with this movie. Though I will say there is a little bit of audio issues I felt I had with this. When like in the movie, like when they're in the car, the chick from Freddy's Dead and her boyfriend are talking to each other in the car. There's a little static in it, and that was a little annoying. But other than that, I have no complaints about it.
I've noticed they've had that issue pulling, and I think it has to do with the magnetic soundtrack they get it from. So I don't know if they just can't get their hands on the original tracks or what.
Yeah.
But you would think they'd be able to come up with a way to digitally do something to that, because there's. I'm trying to remember the movie. There was another movie I recently got where there was a similar issue with it. And the original soundtrack had that hissy, tinny, like problematic sound throughout the whole thing. It's almost like a static.
This says it's got a 4K scan of the 35mm original negative with the stereo mix taken from the soundtrack negative.
Weird that it had an issue like that.
It's weird. It was just that one scene. It was when they're in the car. It's like when they were talking, it was like shh, shh when they talked. I was like, that's kind of weird.
See, and that's something that sounds like you could have taken out with some kind of noise reduction.
Yeah, maybe I need to fix my settings.
I don't know if it's your settings so much. I'll watch it. Try to watch it soon. If I have an issue, I'll let you know.
Yeah, but yeah, there you go. There's you guys a nice yin and yang for you. Father Stew and Girlfriend from Hell. A nice little religious stew for you guys.
I can't remember the movie, but I do remember they at least gave you the warning ahead of time that there is an issue with the soundtrack, at least, where you kind of were, at least you knew it. I wish I could remember what movie it was. But, anyway.
Are they going back to the drawing board in the Star Trek 4K re-release box set beside the first film on 4K?
Oh, we didn't even talk about that, did we?
No. There's going to be a big 15-disc box set and a big box set for just the first movie. So
and then singular releases otherwise. Otherwise, we have no current box set that will either replace the original outside of the full-blown one, and not one to actually complement it either at this time. So
yeah. So
yes, in your respect, you are correct. They are kind of going back to the drawing board.
Yes. So Tom, you want to go? What
Sure.
do you got here for us?
Speaking of Kino and 4K and all that business, we brought him up a few times. I got one that's a bit problematic this week. Although the presentation was very nice overall, like the 4K master of it and the 4K compared to the original Blu-ray and DVD, obviously, is much improved. Well, this is what I was talking about earlier, where I'm not so sure a lot of these Universal movies are coming from the negatives. Because I'm almost sure this is coming from an inner positive. Because there's just some elements that are on the screen that for a newer film makes no sense to be on a negative.
Yeah.
But the movie, which is a great fucking movie, is out of sight. And for the most part, Kino just carried over all the classic special features. There's nothing new here outside of the new scan. But it has some new problems. Now, anybody who has the old Blu-ray release from Universal can compare it side by side and see that there's a huge difference in, especially one bit, but two parts of it. And I talked about it a little bit more in depth earlier, so I'm not going to get too in deep here. But basically, the color timing is all fucked up. They have way too much yellow and gold in the one earlier bits, and even worse when they get to Detroit scene and everything's blue. And I mean, it's blue.
Smurf blue.
Like Smurf fucking blue, yeah. And I compared it, like I popped them in back and forth to check, and it's so fucking obvious. Like, it's so bad in this new version that the blue tint, the only time it looks like there's anything that isn't colored blue is if it's a harsh yellow or harsh red color and really stands out. Because otherwise, it's all blue washed, which it shouldn't look that bad. But outside of that, it's still a better presentation of the film overall. It looks significantly better than the older release, which this is a much older Blu-ray release, and the DVD was a classic. In fact, we all have seen the original Universal DVD thing. Of course, it starts out with George Clooney playing with the lighter, so we've all seen that scene.
Yeah.
But for those who haven't seen the actual movie itself, it's actually a very fun, meet cute kind of film, based on a novel by Elmore Leonard, and actually has a connection to Jackie Brown. But the basic story outline is George Clooney
already also have a connection to Get Shorty.
Technically, I think you're right too, but I can't remember the exact connection.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, I that's news to me if that's the case. I didn't know that one, but I can potentially see that. But yeah, it's about George Clooney, who's a bank robber, and he's robbed over 200 banks in his lifetime.
It is a great movie. I haven't seen it in a long time.
And he's in prison and he's breaking out and he gets busted by a federal agent played by Jennifer Lopez. And as they're escaping, they take her hostage and George and her are locked in the trunk. And they kind of start to form a bit of a tumultuous relationship of some sorts, I guess you could call it. And the whole movie's kind of just based around this cat and mouse game between them and George doing the right thing and this big heist they're planning. Not to get too much into spoilers, because it is a great fucking movie if you haven't seen it. Steven Soderbergh directed it. Very well paced, very well done. I mean, from top to bottom, it's a Steven Soderbergh film, and it's a brilliant, brilliant fucking movie. In fact, Runner, if this is a movie you haven't seen, you should check it out.
It's definitely right up Runner's alley.
Oh, I'll check it out.
It's definitely more of a comedy action than you would think from the way it's kind of presented in the story itself.
Yeah.
But George's character, and this is probably one of his best performances ever, to be honest with you. Like, of all of his movies he's done, this is probably his best performance because it's the most acting he's really doing and the most sincere acting, it feels like. Because when he's playing Batman, he's playing George Clooney playing Batman.
Yeah,
From
that
Dusk
was my
Till Dawn,
biggest
he's
problem.
George Clooney in From Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah.
Here he's actually playing this character, right? And he's this downtrodden, shit for luck guy that is actually not dumb. That's the beauty of it, is he's not stupid. But he always finds himself in stupid positions because of people doing the right thing, including himself all the time. That's the problem. Like one of the biggest jokes in the movie is they're sitting in prison because his buddy, his partner, keeps confessing the crimes that they do to his sister because she guilts him through religion, speaking of. And he made the mistake of pre-confessing to something they were doing, and that's the only reason they caught him. So it was like, that's just like kind of the setup. Like that's the beauty of this movie. It's one of Elmer Leonard's great stories, and if you know anything about him, he wrote the story that Jackie Brown is based on, and Michael Keaton plays the same role in here that he plays in Jackie Brown.
Mm-hmm.
So Michael Keaton's in that too.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I remember that now that you say that. And
but he's only got a brief segment in this movie. He's only in it for like 2 or 3 scenes, comparatively. But
it's like
I think he's
Steven
in Jackie
here.
Brown a bit more.
Yeah. Steven deleted scene says it connects to Jackie Brown, but not Get Shorty unless I missed a reference. Many of Elmore Leonard's stories connect.
Yeah, I'm not sure on the Get Shorty one, unless is it through the father character maybe?
I don't remember. I could have sworn there was like a Get Shorty connection somehow.
So I'm trying to remember what role that, because that actor's in that movie too, and I'm trying to remember what's his face, Dennis Farina.
Yeah,
is he playing the same character?
I don't think so because he was.
I didn't think so either. I'm trying to remember now. It's been a while since
he was a mob guy in that.
I was gonna say that's what I thought.
I don't know. I don't always. Maybe it was just because it was. Like didn't Elmore Leonard write Get Shorty?
I think so too, but
I think maybe it's just because of the same guy, same author.
But yeah, that's where Tarantino kind of got his whole inspiration for having one of the inspirations for having this whole interconnected world in his movies was Elmore Leonard, and Jackie Brown, of course, was the only movie he's ever made that is based on somebody else's work. And so yeah, they do have a connection in that respect, and they are a nice companion piece to each other, even though they do, they're clearly 2 separate films with 2 separate voices. Mm-hmm. They still kind of fit together. It's weird because they have the same humor. The characters feel like, they could belong in the same universes. And even though you have Michael Keaton crossing over and such, but Out of Sight is a great fucking movie.
Yeah, it is. It really is. And like you said, it's because George Clooney usually he's like Will Smith. He plays Will Smith,
George Clooney,
played
yeah.
George Clooney. This is actually a legitimate acting role for him, and the chemistry between him and Jennifer Lopez. Jennifer Lopez has chemistry with everybody. Apparently, she's collecting rings like Thanos.
This is actually probably one of her better roles too, to be honest.
Yeah, that's what I say. It's one of her better roles in it, and the way they play off each other, it does work very well together.
Steve Zahn's fucking great in it.
Oh, I love Steve Zahn. He's
fucking hilarious in it.
That guy is such a great character actor.
Yeah. No, but overall, it's like one of those almost damn perfect movies, right? There's not much you could really change to make it any better, and if you fuck with it at all, you just ruin it. And it's a very decent presentation here by Kino, sans the muck up with the color timing, but I don't know if they're going to address that or not. But I know I'm not the only one who's been talking about it.
Yeah, it's a rarity for Kino Lorber to mess up like that. So.
It's just those two kind of scenes, because it's like a scene earlier on. I think it's in the prison yard. That's like and one with J-Lo when she gets her gift. Like in the original film, there is like a yellowish hue to them, but in this one, it's like solid yellow, like gold, kind of like almost sepia tone. And then, like I said, once you jump to the Detroit bit, it's blue as blue could be. And it's like, and it was stood out to me before I even went back and checked. I'm like, yeah, this is not right. You can't even see the colors of anything. So it's like, that doesn't seem right. And I checked the Blu-ray that's in this set is the 4K master. So you can't check. It's going to be the same master on the Kino Blu-ray. So it's not going to look any different. It's the same washed out blue.
That's crazy.
Although, coming from a 4K master, the Kino Blu-ray does look better than the old Universal one, resolution-wise.
Yeah. But that's good to know. So if anybody be aware out there, when you get out of sight on 4K from Kino, there are some color issues. But it is a great movie.
Well, we'll keep you up to date if they do say anything. I haven't heard anything from them yet, so I don't know. And they don't specify in here if it was... where the 4K master comes from, other than it just says brand new HDR Dolby Vision master. Approved and color graded by cinematographer Elliot Davis. Okay, so I guess it was his choice to do that. Fucking idiot.
He's probably not there that day. Like, yeah, just fix it for me real quick. I got to go hit the head.
No, that's bad. But I guess that's his approval. So they're not. I guarantee you, they're not going to mess with it. Yeah. It doesn't say it came from the negative though, and I think that's true because there is some elements on the film, and I'm not even talking about like during optical stuff. Like there's just random like white dots and shit here and there that are normally not present on a negative, and some other elements that are not normally present on a negative that come from like hairs and stuff like that from the printing process. So I think it's coming from an inner positive, but it still looks very good for an inner positive. So if that's the case, but again, I cannot. That's the only downside, I guess, other than no new special features. Like it would have been nice to have some kind of retrospective on it, but as far as I can tell, everything otherwise has been carried over from the Universal Blu-ray. So
well, it's good to know. And Star Cabal, hello. That's another new name. Welcome.
Greetings.
Actually, he's one of our members, and I was on his show the other day.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There you go.
So what do you got for us, Runner?
Yeah, what do you got, Runner?
All right, so this one, this is a Paramount release. It's one of their releases where it only comes with a 4K and not the Blu-ray with it, sadly. But I watched this for the first time over the weekend, and I think this is a movie more people probably like more than me. And it's a Tony Scott film, same guy who directed Top Gun and stuff like that. Which also stars Tom Cruise.
Days of Thunder.
I got the slipcover for that one. And
so do I.
I don't give a fuck.
I'll trade you for Die Hard.
No. I was gonna say that is not happening.
Actually, I would totally do that.
And I know you would, but I'm not. I'm not.
Because I definitely like Die Hard a hell of a lot more than I like Days of Thunder. But that's actually a decent presentation.
Well, yeah, obviously, I like Die Hard a hell of a lot more than Days of Thunder as well. I thought it was an alright film. What do you think of it, Greg?
I liked it. It's all right. Isn't like I said, I'm not a huge Tom Cruise fan.
I'm not
but it's one
either,
of his
but I
better
will say
movies.
this: it's actually better than Top Gun.
Oh,
I disagree. I disagree.
I don't.
I disagree.
Round one,
Listen, listen.
It's got more story to it for one, and more actual emotion in it.
I disagree. There were parts of this movie where I looked at my phone at times, like the parts that were like kind of boring, but like the rest of it's like pretty good.
That's because Top Gun is barely a movie. It's like 10 commercials stacked on top of each other.
Well,
for the Navy and Air Force.
I disagree.
Aside from the goose scene.
If anything, this is basically a Top Gun ripoff, but with cars.
You're not wrong, but it's done better in my opinion.
I disagree. I think it's done.
It's actually like a movie.
Like
and not a music video.
I disagree because I watched this movie
and
I'm
it's
like,
not nearly as gay. See, you can't argue with that one.
Top Gun is not gay. It's not fucking gay.
Sword fight.
You know what, Tom? Just watch Top Gun Maverick, okay?
I'll get there.
I think you'll like that one.
Yes, Tyrell. That's why I'm also picked that one. I just gotta fuck with him.
No, but like I disagree with Tom because like I watched this movie and it's like it tries to be like Top Gun, but it's not as good. I think it's a decent flick. It's not my favorite, and it's like not the most like impressive of the other Tom Cruise movies I've seen.
I like it. It's a good one. I like Top Gun too, but it's all right. They're good.
Yeah, but Top Gun Maverick is objectively a better movie. And it's definitely, and that one, Tom cannot argue that it's gay because there's a chick in the team.
What does that mean?
There's a chick in the team on Hot Shots.
I know lots of gay guys that marry chicks.
I don't give a fuck about Hot Shots. I'm talking about Top Gun.
Hot Shots is
my Top Gun.
And with Christy Swanson, who follows me on Twitter, by the way, shout out Christy Swanson. She's in the movie. She's pretty cool in that.
That's great, but I'm talking about Top Gun. I'm not talking about the Spaceballs version of it.
I like Top Gun though. I'm not, I do. So
no, but I think you'd be like really like if you liked Stranger Things season, was it 4, which I thought was good. Which I thought was really good.
It was really good. It was probably the best season they've done in a long time.
Oh yeah, I agree. Like I didn't. I mean, not to get into Stranger Things too much, but like I didn't really care for the last season, and I wasn't excited for 4 because of the last season. But 4 was good. It was good, but Top Gun Maverick is still the best thing to come out this year.
Welcome, Heather Preston. Hi,
I disagree.
how are you?
The answer is Beavis and Butthead.
Beavis and Butthead.
That's really I watched that.
That was really good.
That's either my second. That's either my second or third favorite. But Tom, you haven't seen? Have you seen Top Gun Maverick yet?
No, but I know that it doesn't. You need to have seen the first movie to have any emotional resonance. I don't have to see the fucking movie. I can tell you what Top Gun 2 is without ever seeing it. I guarantee you, I can predict that movie.
I mean, probably could, but like it's still.
All right,
like...
here's the short version. Tom Cruise is basically playing Tom Skerritt, and what's his face? Goose's kid from The Offer.
Miles.
Not Elijah Wood. Miles Wood.
Miles Teller. Yeah.
Miles Wood. I got Miles Wood for you.
He's basically Maverick now. He's the hot shot doing shit. And you got him saying, I knew your father, just like Tom Skerritt said he knew Tom Cruise's dad, and this and that and the other and blah, blah, blah. And me being a hot shot like you got his ass killed.
I wouldn't say he's a lot like Maverick. I mean, they kind of build him up to it, but not really. Like Maverick
but I'm close,
is still...
ain't I? I'm fucking close.
Not really.
And then at the end, something happens, and they all got to get together and go fight probably the Russians.
I mean, you're
and Tom Cruise has to to come along like Tom Skerritt did. It's the same fucking movie. They even have the beach scene. I've seen it already. It's called Top Gun.
I understand it. They follow the same beats, but it's like you're still missing some parts of it.
I'm sure I am, but I mean, it's not that hard to pick it out.
Like, here's the thing. I predicted it as well, but like I was still very much satisfied with the movie. Like this is the first movie in a long ass time where I actually sat in the edge of my seat. I can even tell you
probably what Val Kilmer's part is. He was probably supposed to be heading up the Top Gun program, but his health got in the way, so he calls Maverick in to do it for him. Am I right?
I don't know if he okay, he definitely contacts him into joining. But I don't know if they wanted him to like do it. I don't remember them saying anything about that. I think
he could ride his tail anytime. So
like no, because like Iceman's like texting him and shit, and then like at some point, Maverick goes to his house and they like have a little chat.
All right, I'll see it soon. I'm pretty sure I already know the movie. Though. Okay, it's not too hard to figure it out.
And there's more to what happens to Iceman. After the conversation.
Well, I'm sure he'll have to die eventually. You know,
son of a bitch. You got that right too.
I'm not stupid.
Once you have seen a lot of movies, it's just luck, Tom. You know.
Well, it's just like this. I can predict in about 6-7 months from now, even though the movie did it well, it's still going to be just like Jurassic World, just like The Force Awakens, where it basically does the same thing. It's the same movie. People are just going to be okay with it because you actually got Iceman and him together and all that stuff. And it has certain aspects to it that they like more than The Force Awakens. But yeah.
I mean, they follow the same. Well, here's the thing, though. The difference between those is like.
Or even Creed, for that matter, which is a more well-received one.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Creed at least felt like a different movie.
It's the same story as Rocky, just in reverse.
I understand that. It follows the same beats, and this goes the same with Top Gun Maverick. If it Creed and Top Gun Maverick follow the same beats as the original movie. But
the only difference between Creed and Rocky is that Creed has money.
Okay, but my point is with those two, they feel different. Like,
and he's trying to outlive the shadow of his father, as opposed to prove everybody that he's
like they're not like.
I'm not saying it's a bad movie runner. You don't have to sit there and defend it.
No. I know you're not saying it's a bad movie. It's not like Creed isn't like. I like the second Creed a lot.
Well, me too. But I'm talking about Top Gun in general. I'm talking about all these movies. I'm fine with Top Gun Maverick basically being the same movie all over again. That's fine.
No, but like I'm just saying like. It follows the same story beats, but I wouldn't go as far as say it's the same thing. Who dies? Well, you tell me. You're the one predicting shit.
Well, Miles Teller's partner probably gets killed.
I'm not gonna tell you who dies.
See,
just watch. You
put him in the Maverick role. It's not that hard to do. It's basically how I said you should have done. They should have done the whole Star Wars trilogy to begin with. You started out the same way, but then you branch off into another direction, and people think you're emulating the original trilogy, and oh shit, they're actually emulating part of the prequels, and you kind of throw some curveballs in there. But Top Gun, there is no curveballs to be had because you only have one other movie.
Well, no, I get that, but like the difference is like I keep saying. Top Gun Maverick has some of the same beats as like the story beats as the first one, but it feels different. You feel like the biggest difference between the sequel to the original one is that the Top Gun Maverick takes itself more seriously. It takes itself 10 times more seriously than the original. Like when you watch the original one, it's like I still like it, but it's like after watching Maverick, I'm like the last movie is like. It doesn't take itself too seriously. Like it's kind of like it does feel kind of like dumbed down. You know what I mean?
Well, as far as this comment from Victor, yeah, I totally don't really need to go see Thor, but at the same time, there ain't shit coming out for the next few months, so I might as well better see it so we have something to talk about. And it sounds like it's not as bad as we're expecting it to be anyway. So
I mean, it probably isn't, but like I know you like Ragnarok, Tom. I wasn't a fan, so I'm gonna.
That's what I'm hearing anyway. So basically, anybody who is a fan of Ragnarok, you'll probably enjoy this for the most part. Even though, it sounds like Andre's comparison is probably true. Like this, if Ragnarok is comparable to Batman Forever, what that did to how different tone that was to the first two Batman movies, he basically said this one goes into Batman and Robin territory. So,
That's
bad. I mean, after watching Doctor Strange 2, I'm probably going to skip out on Thor 4.
I'm be honest, I'm out. Thor 4, I'm out. I don't have no interest in it. No plan on watching it.
I agree. It just...
No, I'm seriously only seeing at this point because there's literally nothing else really.
Yeah, there's nothing else coming.
But here's the thing. Like, I watched Andre's review, and I even watched the live stream that you guys had on this morning. Well, I watched the replay because I was busy around that time. But yeah, like for the most part, it sounds like I wouldn't be a fan of it because Andre said like if you didn't like the humor or whatever in the last Thor movie, you're not
definitely not gonna like this one. Yeah,
and I predicted that. I'm like, this is probably gonna be stupid, like Marvel Taika Waititi humor like times 10. Like that's what I predicted, and according to his review, I was right.
I don't know if I'd use liked as the term, but he didn't hate it. Is the because he said it's like the least worst of the Phase 4.
I mean,
as far as like it's not the best because Spider-Man No Way Home is the best. But
yeah, that is the best. But like what was it? What did he what did he say? Like, oh yeah, it's the second best of Phase 4, and I'm like, and I knew what he meant. I was like,
but he meant like a distant second. That's the problem.
Yeah, it's like that's not. I mean, saying it's like the second best of Phase 4 or Phase 4 really doesn't.
And for me, with my expectations going in, especially after Doctor Strange, because I didn't fucking hate Doctor Strange. I just felt like it was more of a waste.
Speaking of Doctor Strange too, because like my family owns Disney Plus. I don't. But like my mom watched Doctor Strange 2 and she was so fucking confused the entire time. like I got home from work and then she's watching Doctor Strange 2, so I watched some of it.
Well, did she watch WandaVision?
She did.
And she was still confused?
Yes.
Has she seen Spider-Man?
I made her watch Spider-Man No Way Home, yes.
So then she should have had everything she needed to not really be that confused.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Like,
well, I'm just saying. I guess that speaks more to the movie than anything. I guess.
I understand that, but like, the thing is like, we know a lot more references of them. Like for example, like when they show Black Bolt in the movie, like my mom's like, "Who the fuck is that?" You know, like little things like that. I have to tell her like, "This is Black Bolt. He's an Inhumans." Like, I've never heard of the Inhumans or something like that. And my mom's like a super normie, so it just kind of shows like,
the cameos were way too
and like
deep cut fucking
and then when
inside
Mordo
joke kind of shit,
and when Mordo introduces
or inside baseball,
Reed Richards in it, like my mom is like, who's the guy with the Fantastic Four shirt? And I'm like, oh, it's Mr. Fantastic from the Fantastic Four. And it's like, and she's like, I knew who Mr. Fantastic is, but they never say that name. It's like no, they just call him Reed
Richards.
Yeah, they just call him Reed Richards. That's Mr. Fantastic.
No, and what you're explaining is exactly why I said to people that Tom Cruise is not showing up in this movie.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because I'm like, that is such inside baseball that you will never ever get the fucking reference as to why in the world is Tom Cruise playing Iron Man all of a sudden. Like, nobody would understand that. And what you just explained is exactly why. And that's why I wasn't surprised, but that we didn't get a shit ton of cameos, but I was surprised by the ones we got outside of Professor X.
It's funny because, like, I mean, my mom liked the Professor X cameo just because
That's the only one that made sense.
Yeah, I agree. That's the only one that made sense. But, like, honestly, my favorite cameo is Bruce Campbell. That's it. That's the only good cameo. Papa Pizza.
I can't argue with that.
like the end credit of him like not punching himself anymore was fucking hilarious. Where he's like, "It's over." Like he's being all Bruce Campbell and all that. Like I died in the theater. I was like, okay, that was definitely worth like.
No, the shitty part is they make fucking Patrick Stewart go through the Dark Phoenix thing for the third time, basically, for the character. Second time for him, third time for the character.
Yeah,
right. And
you're just
what
the ever loving fuck.
Like, no, what pissed me off even more about that is not that he died a third time; it's the way he died. He is far more powerful than fucking.
Well, that's
Wanda.
what I'm saying. It's the same fucking way he dies in the story for
Last Stand.
Yeah, Dark Phoenix Saga.
Yeah, the one that he was in, not the new one. Because James McAvoy was the Dark Phoenix one.
That's true. I didn't see that one, so I can't even speak.
I didn't see that one either. I've seen clips of it, and it looks horrible.
But it's the third time they fucking killed him on screen.
Yeah, I know. It's like, and
actually, isn't it the fourth? Because didn't they kill him in? Didn't he die in Days of Future Past as well? Pretty sure.
Did he?
Because I think they all get obliterated at the end there.
I think it starts with them all getting killed, and then they send Wolverine back in time and he fixes everything.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I've only seen the theatrical cut. I haven't seen the Rogue cut yet. I own the Rogue cut on Blu-ray, but I haven't watched it yet. The
Rogue cut makes very little sense. It's just kind of like, we're gonna do this now instead because movie.
Yeah.
Well, what was I gonna say? Like, I remember telling my mom like Tom Cruise was rumored to play like a different version of Iron Man in Doctor Strange 2, and my mom was like, "No, that sounds awful."
Exactly. Everybody like, why? It's like unless you know the reason why, you know.
I mean, I would have liked that. I even told her like, because I told my mom like there were rumored to be like more than 50 cameos in the movie. And my mom was like, "Yeah, what the hell happened to that?" It's like yeah, that was all bullshit. and it's funny because I told her like, like, and I know Tom, says like Wesley Snipes wouldn't come back, but it's like the idea of it would be really fucking cool to see him back as Blade. Like I even told my mom like, and she's like, "Oh, don't put him in there if it doesn't make sense." And it's like that it doesn't matter if it makes sense. Like if you put Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man and Wesley Snipes' Blade in like one scene together, that would make so much fucking money. You know what I mean? Or Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Marvel is Marvel. So
I agree, but like I even told my mom, like, what would have been so cool, and Tom even said this about Doctor Strange 2, is like they kind of like left out the fun aspect of what they could do with a multiverse, and it's like one really cool thing they could have done if Sony like approved of it or whatever is like they go to the Raimi Spider-Man world, right? And they stop like they see Tobey Maguire or whatever as Spider-Man, but then Benedict Cumberbatch's Doctor Strange meets a different version of Doctor Strange, but it's Bruce Campbell. Like something trippy and funny like that. You know what I mean?
Even funnier than that is if you had I was gonna say even funnier than that would be is if you had Jeffrey Combs show up as Dr. Mordred.
That would be hilarious. I would have been down for that.
No,
I'm just saying just like a weird fucking.
Well, you might as well though. That's about how inside baseball some of this shit is though. Like, because like I even said, it would have been fun to see in Spider-Man No Way Home because everybody hated that version of Venom so much. You just had like a end credit scene with the new Venom. Like just walking down the street, talking to himself, and all of a sudden Venom's like crawling down across like one of the buildings, and the other Venom bites his head off, and he's like, "It tasted funny." Like, that would have been hilarious.
That would have been cool. But
that would have been like the Zilla getting her ass kicked in the Final Wars or whatever in like 30 seconds by the real Godzilla or that other monster or whatever the fuck it was.
No, but like what I was saying, like the Bruce Campbell, like Doctor Strange, like just like him dressed up as Doctor Strange would be fucking hilarious.
The thing is, Bruce Campbell would have been Mysterio. So
didn't Bruce Campbell say like no, that was all like fan theory shit? Like he said,
yeah, but that's like Tom said inside baseball. That's what they would have went with it.
Well, that's the whole reason what's his face is playing Reed Richards for fuck's sake. Like that's the same thing where I'm just like
that's true, but like I understand that, but like maybe in some other multiverse, Bruce Campbell can play Mysterio, and then he's like Doctor Strange, in another. I don't know. Like you could have done something so fucking hilarious with that.
But
Like that.
You guys want to know the truth? Where I think there was a bunch of cameos filmed.
I believe there was.
But you want
to,
and I don't think they were for Doctor Strange.
Oh, really?
I think they were for Deadpool 3.
Oh, maybe.
I think they're gonna make fun of that whole idea that people thought there was gonna be a bunch of cameos, and that's why Deadpool was spotted on the set of Doctor Strange.
What were the rumored cameos, by the way?
Oh God, there was everything from him to Hugh Jackman to just about anybody and everybody who could. Like you even had like
a lot of the Fox characters.
Tom Cruise, some of the Fox characters. Yeah, there was you even had some people saying that
Thomas Jane's Punisher.
Yeah, because like just about everybody they could almost.
Nicolas Cage.
There was a rumor a while back that Ryan Reynolds and I can't remember the other guy pitched Deadpool kills the Fox Marvel universe.
I wouldn't be surprised because here's the funky thing.
Deadpool 3.
We had the whole he put that picture out there, and it was when they were supposedly doing reshoots for Doctor Strange late last year.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden here, not too long ago, a few months ago, we got word that there is supposedly a script ready for Deadpool 3, and they're getting close to moving ahead with it. So that makes me wonder if they didn't already kind of pre-plan for this whole idea. So don't be surprised. This is just me speculating. I have nothing to go on this other than the picture, because I've also been hearing for a while, this is something I've heard, is that, they're setting this whole idea up of Hugh Jackman playing Wolverine one more time in Deadpool 3. So.
Yeah. See, that's what I was curious about, because like I said, that they could have been filming Deadpool kills all the multiverse versions. Because I know
like I said, I think they'll just make a joke of the fact that they have a bunch of cameos in Deadpool 3 because everybody thought it was going to be in Doctor Strange.
Well, they'll pull the
Doctor Strange thing with him now.
They'll all be like behind the green screen or something. That'd be pretty funny.
But moving on from some of the Marvel talk here, is that everybody's free pick but mine? Third pick from mine?
Well, no, I got one more pick left.
You got one more pick, and then Runner.
I got one more pick too.
Okay, so that's right. I started first. I started first this week. So
yeah, you did.
So this is my final pick.
Your final pick?
It was between something sweet and something from the 80s, so I figured I'd go with something sweet, and it's because of you, Tom. You made me want to see this again. Secondhand Lions.
Oh.
With Robert Duvall and Michael Caine and Haley Joel Osment. This is a nice little sweet, fun movie. I like it. I've always enjoyed it. It's I know my dad really loves this movie, so he loved watching it with me again because he'd seen it a million times. He loves it. But it's a great story about these two old guys who take in Haley Joel Osment is their what was he? I can't remember now. It's like their grandson.
He's their nephew, I believe.
Yeah, nephew.
Great nephew,
his uncles.
great nephew, or whatever.
Yeah. They take him in because his mom, Kira Sedgwick, leaves him there, and she's supposed to be going to get a job, but she's just running away with her boyfriend for a while. And then, they start telling Michael Caine and his Texas accent, which I went Australian for some reason. He tells him the story of what they did when they were young and the story of, what they did. There's
a little bit of a subplot, too, right?
Yeah.
She wants him to look for this supposed gold they have buried.
Yeah, because they're supposed to be really rich. Because they disappeared for years, and then they came back, and they're finally back. And so
from all their adventures,
Yeah, and so Michael Caine tells them the story of their adventures and how they supposedly got rich, and you got to figure out whether what he's telling him is true or whether what his mom finds out is true. So I don't want to spoil too much of it for people because it is a really great fun watch, and it's got a nice little story to it, and the flashbacks are pretty good. With it's got some good action, like sword fighting scenes, stuff like that. It's just like a classic hero type story with really great actors.
In the summer vacation movie category.
Yeah.
Because it's like one of those adventures, and it reminds me in a subtle way, because like most summers when I was a kid, I would spend a lot of time at my grandparents' farm. So that's kind of what this movie reminds me of. So to me, it was kind of a little nostalgic kick in a way kind of thing. And, the uncles kind of remind me of my uncles and my cousins and shit, and the city boy, the softy,
I know that. Well, I've always been out in the country, but but I know you're getting at. And yeah, it's just like it does sort of remind you of growing up as a kid and going around, like especially with your, like you said, with like your grandparents and stuff who are probably more like southern, especially out here where I live. So like going out there and
not
hearing their
exactly,
stories.
but Wisconsin is famously the south of the north, so
Yeah.
like I totally get a lot of the southern isms because of it. So yeah.
Yeah. There you go. There's another, like, it's been 15 to 20 years since I saw that one. That's another one. You're like, it couldn't have been that long ago. 2003.
I was gonna say, yeah, it was like 2001 or 2. I thought it came out. Yeah, you're right, 2003. Wow.
Yeah.
I got that Blu-ray too. It's not the greatest release, but it's
probably,
decent enough.
Yeah, it's the best you're going to get probably with this movie. I don't think you'll ever
Probably.
get another.
Yeah, it doesn't stream for 4K treatment or anything.
No special 2K, 4K treatments with tons of special features.
And it's Warner, so
Yeah. You may get a Warner Archive thing down the line, maybe. But it's a good movie. It's a fun watch. It's a wholesome tale. It's
two movies with Robert Duvall tonight.
Yeah, Rob. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, but it's a good one. If you've not seen it, check it out, guys. It's worth a watch. It's just a simple, fun movie.
Wasn't it Runner who was like, "Who the hell's Robert Duvall?" Like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, he was like, "Who's Robert Duvall?" I was like, "He's in Godfather." He's like, "I don't know."
He's also in Days of Thunder.
Yes, he is. I don't even know if Runner's down there. Oh, there you go.
I'm here. I'm listening. I do remember saying. I do remember saying that.
You are precious to me as your own mother and father. I can't even say it like that.
Like a tangerine. Come about, Ellen. Come about. Sorry, it was Jaws of Revenge.
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
He does his best with the Texas accent in that movie.
Yeah.
Like we said, he does his best, but it slips in and out on him.
Yeah. That was weird that they're kind of playing like brothers and shit.
Yeah. I mean, the tiger out in the cornfield.
Yeah.
She just wanted to go home.
It's a good movie.
Yeah, it's good. It is a good one. But that was my third pick of the night. It's nothing fancy, but Tom talked about it a couple of weeks back, and I was like, I want to see that again.
I'm trying to remember. It's not been that long ago since I've seen it. I'm trying to remember. I think I watched it not that long ago, just in like the background. But yeah, I was gonna say because I think it was on HBO Max.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It
is one of those movies, like if it comes on, you just like kind of just leave it on.
Yeah, it was just flipped on in the background.
Yeah. So. Hetero life mates. But yeah, what do you got for us, Tom? We'll move on to you now for your final pick.
My final pick of the night. Well, yeah. Let's just say Greg and I have been trying to plan some specific conversations where we like to bring in the same movies. So in preparation for something next week, I'm not going to give what next week is away. But let's just say here's kind of a hint of what it will have to do with. I'm just going to show a trailer of this movie. This thing, I don't even know how it's a fucking movie. It's ghastly, all right. Here you go. Yeah.
That's the trailer?
That's the trailer. Here's like the opening scene, man. This just gives you an idea of what we're dealing with here. Oh, this is actually online. You can watch the whole movie. The only difference is they crop out all the awkward like fucking nudity. But yeah, you guys got to see how bad this shit is.
I would totally watch this movie.
And you guys gonna talk about this?
Not this person.
Great Lucifer.
Lord, what was that?
In some guy's garage. Wearing costumes for Halloween.
What is the noise all about? Will someone go and check?
This is Canadian accent.
It was
too.
definitely Canadian film, yes. What's hilarious, I should go back there. Clearly, whoever's place this is, watch when this girl moves, that's their headshot back there.
It's probably the guy in the robe.
I think so. Like he used to be a magician or some shit like that. And you got like old stereo equipment in the back here. There's no way this shed is the shed that's on the outside because that's like a wooden cabin shed. This is a fucking metal shed. Like, and the effects are so bad. They don't even try. Like, and the sad thing is you get scenes like, okay, I'm not even sure if it's trying to be goofy or what. But like, okay, so that opening scene was clearly trying to make fun of ghoulies. We get another scene that's clearly poking fun at gremlins. But the rest of the movie is taking itself so seriously. Like, you get like this scene here where they have like a heart-to-heart between women, and it's like...
Hey, you. Oh, hey, Sloan.
As badly acted as it is.
Now, are these women supposed to be college students?
Yeah, that's the other thing, is they're supposed to be all college students, and they all range from like 47 to 26.
You got caught up
I can tell that woman there.
going anywhere. Beach season is only
Well, that's the bitch who can't keep her clothes on the right there.
I know, I just... Is this about what Lulu said back at the house?
This is the caliber of
Don't let
acting
her
we
bother
get.
you. She thinks she's totally bitchin', but the truth is she's totally a bitch.
Thanks. I know. I haven't always had a lot of friends.
This is what I had to put up with for an hour and 15, 20 minutes.
I guess I've just been
And then the ending is so bad that they go and they do this animated thing to finish it off.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
They ran out of money, so they just like 2D.
I don't know what the fuck happened here. Like, this should normally be a special feature or whatever, but like... And then you got these stupid bike cops. Okay, the basic outline is like any Ghoulies, Gremlins kind of movie. It's these teen women, like college-age women, like I said, they're supposed to be, but they're clearly from... range from 47 to 26, and they go out to this fucking cabin, and they kind of set up who they are as far as their characters. They're real generic, and all of a sudden there's these aliens out there like attacking them, and like, yeah, they're very badly done, and
I gotta go.
I can't tell if they're trying to do like a Sharknado thing or if they're really trying to be sincere, and
car comes and then I'll thumb a ride.
I think it's the latter, but
You know, thumb.
see what I mean? It's like... I don't know what to say.
They took their kids' toys and just said, you know what? We can make a bullies movie or critters movie or something.
Basically, you're not wrong. I mean, it is... I mean, the editing isn't horrible and the sound isn't too bad, but the rest of it's like so amateurish. And then you get shit like this. And this appears to be maybe a slightly cut down version. I don't know, but it's bad.
Looks like he's laughing.
Yeah, there's that problem too. The leg ripping off. Yeah, that's just great. And he's not even screaming.
No.
It's like they were clearly going to try and ADR it later, and they didn't. He's like...
He's fell asleep. He's fine. He's just tired. I'm gonna take a nap right here.
Dwell on it for a while, and then then drag
It looks better than Kenobi.
It does look better than Kenobi.
Yeah, that's true.
And then their boyfriends show up.
Look at
These two
this.
have this. These two have this really weird, kinky relationship. It's fucked up. And then you got this guy who's like chummy with the nerdy chick. And then you got the bitch and the bimbo, right? Like those are the other two characters. It is a horrible fucking movie. It's barely a fucking movie. Like, I wish it was more... I wish there was something more exciting to talk about with it, but yeah, you can see the edited version online.
How did you find out about this?
You got to
It
show
came
him
up
the
in my
disc, Tom.
recommend. Oh yeah, I haven't even got to that point. Because yeah, as far as the production of the disc, it looks like a real movie. I mean, it come popping up in my Amazon. I mean, even the back kind of makes it look semi decent.
Who was it distributed by?
It's called Camp Motion Pictures. It's DVD and
It looks like
Blu-ray.
like you would get on Vinegar Syndrome or
Arrow.
Shout or Umbrella.
That's
or
kind of what I
Arrow.
thought it was something like that. I mean, and you know, like I don't know. I didn't know it was as new as it was until I watched it, and I'm just like, but yeah, it came out in 2017.
That's,
it really was depressing because I think I spent like
Tom's just like, it was bad.
well, I love monster movies, right? I really do, and I will give them a fucking pass and a half. And we're going to talk about some more little monster movies next week. So that's kind of what I watched this in, is because it must have popped up because of the other recent purchases I was making, most likely. But, yeah, it was never on my radar before, and I wish it never had come. It is no Greasy Strangler.
Would be a way better movie than that.
You guys got to see the Greasy Strangler.
Yes, I've been meaning to watch that too.
That's the one movie that you showed a trailer for, right?
I don't know if I could have here. Did I show you guys the trailer?
I think we watched it after the show because we can't show it on the actual show here.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Bullshit artist.
I remember seeing the trailer, and it's like, I don't know if I'll watch that movie anytime soon. It just
I would watch it. I've been meaning to watch it. I've been meaning to get to it because it's.
I should see if it's on Blu-ray. Actually.
Did you ask Chris Gore if he saw?
Oh yeah, he's seen it. He loved it.
Oh, of course he did.
Look, this Christopher Perkle says the bitch in that movie is called Life Among the is also in a movie called Life Among Cannibals. She's also the bitch in that.
Hell, there's even a special director's edition
of the Greasy Strangler.
Yeah.
Oh man, look, Dan Blackwood says nobody should see the Greasy Strangler.
No, not really. Not without somebody pulling a bad prank on you like me.
Hey guys, I found this really cool slasher movie. Let's check it out.
No, I'm definitely that guy. Like, oh my god, this tastes like shit. Here, taste it.
But the gasoline, I would probably watch it, but I don't know if I can make it through it. And I just would have to see, like, because you said like the chicks, they're supposed to be college age student. Now one chick did look like she was 40, and they're getting naked all the time.
She's the only one I think you see her tits. To be honest,
of course, she's the only one they could afford to pay.
Yeah, basically. Well, she's probably like the director's girlfriend or some shit.
Probably.
I mean, it is.
It is. It's bad. It makes me want to see. Oh my gosh, what's that full moon movie that's like that in Ghoulies?
It's like they're trying to do a full moon movie, but they're doing it very bad. I mean, even at least Hobgoblins, had this. We're making a movie kind of aspect to it. Like this doesn't even have that. This has a very like the tone is like, okay, are you trying to make me laugh, or are you trying to like
be serious?
Because like you get like, okay, clearly like them being aliens is probably homage to Critters. Like as you saw there, the whole them having the ceremony in the beginning is homage to Ghoulies, because them doing the ceremony has nothing to do with them showing up. They're just doing this random ceremony because they show up from outer space, right?
Right.
And then like the ending of the story is really stupid as fuck too. But like I'm not even gonna get to that. But like you have a lot of random people being introduced just long enough for them to be killed. So like you have a lot of that. I mean, it's on that verge of being an It's So Bad It's Good movie, but it's just not quite bad enough. And there's just some, and then you have like this one scene, like I think it's on that, it's either in that scene where they're sitting on the beach or a different scene where those two girls are talking. And she literally starts telling the story like the Santa Claus story from Gremlins, like almost word for word. And they stop her midway, like that's the joke. So they do shit like that. So you're like, okay, clearly that was meant to be a joke, right? Like you're clearly poking fun at Gremlins there. But now what about the rest of this shit? Because you're seriously trying to play up this idea that the one girl is you know, this nerdy introvert, and the other chick's a bitch, and the other one's a complete fucking moron, and the other girl's clearly the leader and the friend of everybody. And this whole thing that's being set up is that they're like setting up this fake idea that she's part of their sorority, even though it's not a traditional sorority setting because it's only the 4 of them and not all the girls. So it's like this, that's the set. I mean, there is actually a story there, but it's like the loosest of stories to kind of like just hang this idea on that, you know, scary monsters go out and kill people. And they're not scary. They're not scary in the
look
least.
like kids stuffed animals.
That's the other problem you have. So like, yeah, it's a very dumb try where like at this point you're even looking at it, like you said, it's like they literally have taken their kids' toys. And it's like, okay, you clearly spent some money on this movie. Maybe you should have spent a little bit of money on the puppets. Yeah. And it would have been, we're definitely going to get into this next week. So keep this one in mind, kids. I'm gonna kind of cap it there, but
yeah, but yeah,
I honestly don't think I could watch that movie.
I don't blame you. This, unlike the Greasy Strangler, I don't recommend anybody sit through Ghastly's.
Like just the little clips you just showed us alone.
I think my review is up on Amazon for Ghastly's. Let's see here.
Oh,
it's a shame too because like the cover and everything looks like it's like a legit.
Yeah, not too bad.
Right. The cover's the best fucking part.
Oh, here it is at the very top, tippity top.
Oh, of course it
is. Yeah, it's not me and too many other people. Mine's the top review, July 1st, 2022. Not even a movie, or even trying to be humorous or take really on the genre. They try too much for it to be bad, and they don't try hard enough for it to be so bad it's good material. The sound and video quality are acceptable if the story was either decent or reacting was worse. Middle of the road, unfortunately for this type of feature, does not help. And I use the term feature loosely. The 1 hour and 15-minute runtime is padded out by a half-ass animated feature at the end and very slow-moving credits. It looks like something somebody put together on their home computer and shot in their backyard. Yeah, and as you see here, embarrassing from this person. So pathetic. They're going to the beach even though it's clearly winter outside. They started to make me question what was even going on. But then I realized the filmmaker just didn't care and probably wasted 8 months shooting this garbage. Are they supposed to be in college? With sorority? What was with the sorority part? Hey, Brett, you're not 20 anymore. You're old, and you cast a bunch of middle-aged looking actors. They're not in college. You're not the guy you used to be. Okay, so Brett's the director. You're still the same untalented director you used to be, just older. So yeah, this guy has done other cheesy B movies before, and this is just like low-level shit.
Hey, look, fun movie, 3 stars.
It was wacky, cheesy, corny, but yet still entertaining. That's probably somebody who was in the fucking movie.
Yeah, who's the chick that pops her top all the time.
Yeah, and then this one too here is like, it's Canadia's B-52s made ghoulies and MST3K puppets. If you like campy bad movies, you'll dig it. No, it's not even that good.
Mr. Size Theater puppets are way better than that.
Amazon customer says fun, but the ghostlies need to die.
Yeah. I hope Ghastly's gets freed of their evil ways if they make a sequel and put cute and scary comedy. Yeah, they still only gave it 1 star. If it wasn't for her. This movie was absolute garbage. I didn't like the puppet aspect of the Ghastlies. But even then, it's poorly executed. There's little or no explanation regarding them as the main plot line of the film. There is at the end, and it's fucking stupid. The acting was horrible, as well as the writing. The only real thing I enjoyed in this movie was Jessica Huther. I think she's absolutely... So yeah, he's somebody who actually likes the one chick in the movie. Look at all these fucking... How do people give this 4 stars?
Is that the foreign, like,
those are 5 America?
Stars. 5 stars, yeah. Best movie since Titanic. Cinematic genius. Best movie since Titanic.
That's just somebody fucking
got me loose like a long-neck deuce.
That is a joke. That is clearly a joke. There's no way.
No, this isn't though. Fun, low budget, and the creepy campy. No, it's not. It's not though. It's a ripoff. It's a fucking ripoff.
That one sounds too real. The last one down there, that looked like it was just like a troll.
Having a troll. No, Morbius this ain't got shit on Morbius.
It's Morbid time.
Morbius is quickly becoming my favorite bad movie of all time. This, on the other hand, is quickly becoming one of the worst bad movies of all time. It usurped Hobgoblins by a mile.
Jeez.
For the worst monster movie.
You know what?
But,
After watching those clips, I probably wouldn't hate Morbius as much as some other people. Because some people like...
If you turn yourself off for like 5 minutes and just enjoy the stupidity of it all, it's a fucking masterpiece of stupidity.
That's what it is. It just hit me when you mentioned Hobgoblins. Ouija's. It's another one.
Another one I got to get like that.
Yeah, it's like all that.
And I'm not gonna lie, I'm like debating on like getting the 4K with the cool like slipcover that they have for Morbius, where it's like there's the Morbius face and then there's just Jared Leto's like
Gotta
face.
get
Like
the Morbid time.
I know, and they still have the steelbooks at my Best Buy.
I don't think you have to worry about them steelbooks going out of print anytime soon.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean the steelbook doesn't look too bad. It's
They're not going to get a rush for Morbius anytime soon.
I'm just waiting. You know, I might get Morbius on
If they put
Black
my
Friday.
blurb on the cover, they might sell a few more copies.
Yeah, but here's the thing: like the slipcover for the 4K looks so fucking cool. I'm just worried, like at some point, like near the future, like they're gonna take the slipcover off when they sell it for super cheap.
Oh yeah, when they do Black Friday sale, it won't have a slipcover likely, or anything like that. After the slipcovers never usually last long. There's very few have I ever seen where the slipcovers last past the first printing. Usually,
It's true.
Yeah,
It's true.
unless it's a special edition of some type. Yeah,
and that's fine.
Like some of those Lionsgate steelbooks seem like they have endless supplies, but just some of them, not all of them, just some of them.
I bet those Morbius steelbooks will hit $20 or $15.
Yeah, I maybe hold off a little bit, but then again, I know where Runner's coming from. It's like you wait, and then next thing you know, you don't have that opportunity anymore. Yeah.
It's true. It's true.
Those fucking slip covers. Speaking of, that was weird. Walmart's fucking watching Twitter like a motherfucker.
I know. You felt that just like I did with Best Buy, except you didn't get free Ghostbusters movies. It's weird. You got
free ones?
Yeah, that's how I got the.
That's right. Yeah.
I didn't tag Best Buy or anything. I didn't even show a picture like you did. I just was like, yeah, I bought it, and then Best Buy replied to me without anything. It's weird when they do that. And then you just showed a picture and said Wally World, and then all of a sudden Walmart replies to you.
I didn't tag Walmart or anything. Yeah, it was weird. It was just like, whoa. And it was like within 5-6 minutes. It's like, creepy.
It's crazy when that happens. Like
Morbius
you don't expect
is
it.
glorious. You can't spell masterpiece without an M. And Morbius starts with M. I don't think that's a coincidence.
It's the Morbius time of the year.
It's the time of the season for Morbin. Oh, wait. I can do this. What's your name? Who's your daddy? Is he Morbius like Jared Leto? Does he take on many forms? Got his powers from bats in a cave, oh yeah. Kind of like Batman, but not really, because Batman don't have no powers. So that makes him better. Fucking Morbin time.
I seen somebody. I wish I could find this picture again, but somebody took it to the next level and had the Blu-ray of Morbius, and then he made covers for like Morbius sequels. And he said, I picked up the greatest trilogy of all time. And it was Morbius, Morbius 2, Morbin Time, Morbius 3, Return to Morbland. He went all out for these, and he had all three of them in his hand.
Shit, I want to see that sometime. You ever see that again? Send it my
If
way.
I find it again, I will send it to you because I meant to save it and then I lost it and I haven't been able to find it since.
All right, what do you got for us for the last pick? You're finishing off the night tonight,
Yeah,
Runner.
Runner, what do you got?
You better make it good.
All right.
That fucking sucks.
I'm not sure if Tom will be happy about this. Well, I know he likes the movie. I think we all like this movie, but it's narrow release. I'm only bringing up this movie because of a certain trailer that came out today, which I know not a lot of us
watched that.
Not a lot of us are very excited for it. I'll just say that much. It's actually a pretty cool set. It's got some cool things in the box, but
what did he do? He ate himself?
What happened? He was like setting it up. He was setting it up, and then it comes in my big old fat face. Okay, Runner. I love your internet, by the way.
I meant to turn the camera on.
I figured that's what you did.
I accidentally pushed leave studio and I meant to turn on.
I don't know how you did this, but you're a boomer and you're only 19 years old.
Hey,
drop it in the chat. Boomer alert.
Hey, you've made boomer shit like a lot.
Yeah, but I have an excuse. I'm almost 40. You're 19.
Fuck off. All right.
Since you said Arrow release and the trailer come out today, I already have an idea of what it is. So let's see what you got.
All right. Yeah.
I knew it.
Mallrats.
You know what's sad? I didn't hate the Clerks 3 trailer.
Me too.
It actually pissed me off that it was so good.
Right, me too.
I want to go tell that skinny fat fuck to apologize. So I can enjoy the fucking movie.
Like it fucking right. It's like I watched the trailer and I'm like the ending part where I'll say this, and I'm not trying to be biased because I don't like Kevin Smith now, just like you, Tom, and same with Greg. I'm very disappointed in him.
Very disappointed in what he's become.
Right, and the thing is like I don't like. I'm not a huge fan of the idea of like shooting a movie. Like it just feels kind of lazy in that aspect. It feels like Kevin Smith is kind of like run out of ideas. He's just making this just to make a trilogy. You know what I mean? That's the vibe I kind of get.
I haven't watched the trailer yet because I can't bring myself to do it. Honestly,
I watched the trailer and it's like the very like end is like they ask what's Jeff Daniels's or Jeff Anderson's character's name? Randall, that's right. Randall, like he's asked if there's going to be a sequel, and he's like a sequel? What am I, a hack or something like that? Like I like chuckled a little and I'm like, God fucking damn it.
So what are they're making a movie in the movie Clerks?
Well, what it is I mean, I already knew the plot from a while ago, but yeah, the execution looks like Kevin may have pulled it off, the dirty fucker, and he's gonna piss me off because I really kind of want to see it. But yeah, the whole basis is Randall has a heart attack, and he realizes he ain't done jack shit with his life, so he decides he's gonna make a movie. So it's basically like the same idea Kevin had to make a movie about Clerks because that's what he knows. And so basically, it's Randall making Clerks.
So it's like a self.
And even during his whole little heart attack thing, that
Yeah, and then they have like what Runner's talking about is a throwback to the original ending of the original version of Clerks, where Dante gets shot at the end.
Yeah,
he's like, "What? You're gonna fucking shoot me?" He's like, "What if I want to come back in the sequel?" He's like, "What the fuck do I look like, a hack? I'm never gonna do a sequel."
Right, like I laughed at that. Like, not so much laughed. I like kind of chuckled because I didn't want to laugh, but like almost everything else, I just had no emotion towards it. It's like, fuck.
Well, what pulled me in was Dante and Randall. What took me out was every time Kevin was on screen. So.
Right, exactly.
But also he's playing Silent Bob, so he's going to keep his fucking mouth shut through most of the movie, so I don't know.
So he gives himself a big old monologue at the end.
Yeah. Speaking of Kevin Smith, he's going to be at Chicago.
Trust me, I know.
And I don't want to meet him, but I might see him.
We've already discussed plausible ways of me going and talking to him, but most likely everyone ends with me getting pulled out by the security.
Well, listen, before you get pulled out by security, Tom, I would like to at least hang out with you for a little bit in person before security finds you.
That's the fucking guy that ripped my face up! Get the fuck out of here! Fucker!
It's a sad thing, too, because Kevin Smith used to be just so, like, it's such a cool guy.
It's fucked up because it's like, he's gonna be there, and it's like I'd like to meet him. Like, I wouldn't mind meeting Jason Mewes.
The whole cast is gonna actually fucking be there from Clerks.
I know.
So I'm kind of like torn on this whole fucking thing, man. You have no idea, because fucking Ord's brought this to my fucking attention like 2-3 weeks ago.
Yeah, I'm gonna be hanging out.
And he didn't say shit about Kevin Smith being there. He just said that Gina and Jay were gonna be there, and a couple other YouTubers.
Yeah, no. So like,
and since its driving distance is not far from me, I thought about it, and then I went and checked out the website, and I've seen like the whole entire cast of Clerks is gonna be there, and I'm like, motherfucker, that cannot be a coincidence.
Right.
like the stars are lining up, but it's like, you know what? If I do that, I'm getting my ass tossed. There's no way. I go up in his line and ask why you blocked me on Twitter and Facebook or YouTube over He-Man. Why wouldn't you just hear the fans out or something like that? And I'll get my ass tossed out. Now, it would be cathartic and neat is if he actually listened to me and we actually had a sit-down conversation and we kind of got to the bottom of it all. And then at the end of it all, maybe, just maybe, something could be worked out. And it could even be something that would be good for the fans and everybody involved. Because, I mean, I don't know how else to deal with him at this point.
Yeah, like if that ended up happening, I'd have a little bit more respect for him. But as of now, I'm torn, man, because it's like I want to meet him, but I don't. Like, I'd rather meet everyone else from the Clerks crew. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
like Jason Mewes, I wouldn't mind meeting him. I don't mind meeting the guy who plays Randall. Like, I wouldn't mind meeting them, but like Kevin Smith, like what Dan Blackroyd said, Kevin is too far gone. Yeah, I agree. He the real Kevin Smith died after the heart attack. Sorry.
That got dark, man. You got dark.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I had to say
it. I don't know if I would say he died. I would say he went Hollywood, because he's always wanted to be Hollywood.
I guess that's
and they finally let him in, and he's scared that he's going to lose it.
Yeah, it's sad, but like, I mean, there are other celebrities there I'd like to meet. Gina Carano's one of them. I'd like to.
When is this in Chicago? When is this?
It's first day tomorrow.
Oh, it's too late for that then.
I asked you if you wanted to go.
Yeah, but I can't get away. There's no way I could get away. I would love to meet you guys and Gina and Jay and all them, but I can't get away this week.
Like there are some other like celebrities there that seem cool. Like Sean Astin's gonna be there. I wouldn't mind meeting him. That'd be really cool. Carl Weathers. Who else? Oh, John Bernthal's gonna be there.
Yeah. Honestly, if I were to go, it'd just be to meet like the people I watch on YouTube and stuff.
Oh yeah,
that are gonna be that's really like deleted scenes here. I don't want to meet any celebrities anymore. They've let me down. Exactly. The most celebrities I would want to meet are the people like Gina, Jay, Tom, you guys, Ords. I'd love to meet all you guys in person.
Obviously, that should be like the first priority. You know what I mean?
And I mean, but like Tom said, if you could actually have a sit-down conversation with somebody like Kevin Smith and hash out some stuff without being tossed out or something, that would be great. But
right,
yeah. But there you have it. Mallrats is a good movie, though. It sucks, too, because it's like, I love Mallrats. I love Clerks. I love Clerks 2. My name is in the credits in Clerks 2.
I still gotta find your name in those credits.
Yeah, my name is in that. And
are you in are you in
like
the
Jane
IMDb?
Silent Bob reboot, actually.
I've yet to see Jane Silent Bob reboot, but I loved all those old ones.
Jane Silent Bob reboot was all right. I thought. I found it kind of underwhelming towards the end, honestly.
I can't. Yeah, I haven't seen it, so I don't.
Like the movie's not bad. I just towards like the very end, I just found it kind of underwhelming. Like it doesn't. It's not as good as Strikes Back. Or Strike Back.
Yeah. No, the problem is I'd love to see one of Harvey's boys try and accuse me of misogyny.
It amazes me how many of those like people like would hang around Harvey Weinstein and like to give him thanks. Like Kevin Smith is one of them, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, I threatened to punch him one day. Are you
kidding me? Kevin Smith is one of the guys who sucked his dick more harder than any of those bitches did. Fuck. I'll fucking say it. It's a goddamn truth. Anybody who had anything nice to say about Harvey Weinstein, Kevin Smith had nicer shit to say about him than anybody else for years. Even after they fought in court, he still spoke kindly of him. It wasn't until the whole accusations finally took their toll and the Me Too thing happened that, yeah, he finally turned on him, but yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, they let him in, and he doesn't want to lose that, so we've lost the
Oh, no,
Kevin
you're
Smith.
100% right. I think you're right. No, like, because the only way what I explained that would happen is if somebody else facilitated it, and I don't think he'd be open to it.
Yeah.
Because he'd be like, who? Who? Like, oh, the fucking kid who ripped my picture up? No, fuck him.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what would probably happen. I mean,
I remember I remember watching that episode on FNT where you ripped the poster up.
Well, and I even gave the bastard the benefit of the doubt that I was probably on some blockchain. But I went on to one of his live streams on Fat Man on Batman, and I was like saying stuff, and I'm like, just out of curiosity, I flipped over. I had another open screen up with another alternate, one of my alternate like Mead Radio or whatever, and my shit wasn't coming up. So they had already pre-blocked Mead.
Damn.
That's crazy.
And we don't know if they did it to Midnight's Edge either yet, because Andre's never gone on any of his shit, but they could have. They didn't block the Midnight's Edge Twitter though, which is weird. It was just me. So I think you guys are right. I think it was completely triggered by the Friday Night's Tights incident. And enough people saw that I guarantee it got back to him.
Oh, I guarantee it.
No, I mean
he is too full of himself that he didn't hear about it.
That was seriously like that day on FNT, because I think I was like heading over to vacation with my family, and then as soon as we got to our location, I watched that part, and I was like, holy shit. Like, that was a very strong message, and it was a good one too.
Yeah.
No, because Kevin's one of those, he can't stand when somebody talks negative about him as far as like somebody that he can punch down on. That's one thing that's always been real of him.
Because I remember, like when you see him how Clerks 2, when it got a standing ovation, I remember him talking about how great it was and how he wore the same coat that he wore at Cannes when it got the standing ovation. And then he made that stupid movie Red State, and it got some really bad reviews. And then he started crying about it, like, "Oh, these people don't know what the hell they're talking about. People here love it." So
it wasn't Tusk and not Red State?
Oh, maybe it was Tusk. It was one of those.
Red State, I think, was okay. It was Tusk, I think.
It was one of those movies that he made there where he tried to be a horror. Yeah,
I heard some people like Tusk.
It has somewhat of a following. As I say, Red State was.
I'm not a fan of either one of those.
Red State was probably his most well-received film outside of Dogma, I would think. But Tusk, I remember, lost him a lot because I think that was the thing, is people expected more out of him after Red State, because we saw him do the Jay and Silent Bob movies for a while and Cop Out and shit like that. And then he did Red State, and that was actually, unless I'm completely wrong, someone correct me, but I thought that was pretty well received with the critics, and there was even some Oscar buzz for that one. And then after that, he went and did fucking Tusk, and everybody's like, "What the fuck is this shit?"
Yeah.
And then he does yoga hosers and crap.
Yeah. Oh God, yoga hosers.
I mean,
I
Tusk
heard
was an
that was
interesting
bad.
idea, but yeah, after he kind of, because I kind of remember him being on a bit of he was kind of a hot for a minute there, and he kind of fucked it up with doing Tusk. I kind of remember for some reason, because like even Cop Out didn't really do that much damage to him as it did Bruce Willis.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. I think it might have been Tusk, but I'm not a fan of either movie personally. But yeah, it's just like every time he gets a little bit of good news criticism, and then he does something bad. He just he loses it. Like, no, you guys are the wrong ones. I'm not the wrong one. So
I like Kevin Smith before he was involved with all the other shit.
yeah,
Because back when he was still just making movies I didn't care if he was making yoga hosers. Because at least I knew I was going to get a Clerks 3 eventually, and a Mallrats 2 eventually, and a
yeah.
Jay and Silent Bob reboot eventually. I was fine with that, Kevin Smith. He seemed more humble, and he didn't give a fuck about Hollywood. He was just making movies for himself.
Yeah,
And I don't care if they sucked, but at that point, at least he was true to himself.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah, Michael Parks crushed it in that. So did John Goodman. That's what I was saying. I think that one was pretty well received.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it might have been Tusk.
Yeah, Tusk was the one that was just like people are like, what the fuck?
It was stupid. It was really stupid. I could barely make it through it. But I think we'll close it down here. We've gone 2 hours. I think we all showed our picks. Tom, Runner, any final things? Anything you guys want to plug? Anything whatsoever before we close it down?
I'll be at that fan expo for 4 days. So yeah, that's what I'll be doing.
We'll see what happens. I don't think I'll make it, but good. Have some fun there, and hopefully get some cool autographs and shit.
If you do, man, I'd fucking love to hang out and talk. That'd be.
I'll definitely let you know. It'll definitely be well known that I'm there.
All right,
see
awesome.
me getting tossed out by security.
well, no.
I'm kidding. Of course, I'll let you know ahead of time.
Yeah, I was gonna say, send me a DM before you get tossed out.
Of course, I would. But no, yeah, I already know a few people that are supposed to be down there, so it's something I would like to do.
I know.
But I can't guarantee it.
I'm only asking this because you're friends with Nick Weiser. Is he gonna be there?
Yeah, I think he's supposed to be there too.
All right, cool. Yeah, because
Ords is supposed to be there. Nick Weiser's supposed to be there.
Ords is gonna be there. Well, I was the one that asked him the questions before I got.
Yeah,
my tickets,
and then Jay and Gina are supposed to be there.
That I know.
Trying to remember who else said they were going to be there, but I know
Nerdporial Lifeform, I think, is going to be there.
Nerdporial, I think, is supposed to be there. Yeah, I swear there's a couple other people who said they're going to try and make it too. But yeah, I'd like to. I just don't know if I'm going to be able to afford it, and B, it's tough to get away from work. But we've discussed it.
I got the tickets
discussed it a little bit.
I got the tickets when they were slightly cheaper than what they are now, because there was a time limit to.
Well, that's the other thing. Ords told me he had tickets, and then I haven't heard from him since. So I don't know if he ended up giving them to somebody else because I waffled for too long or what. So that could be my own fault on that. Because so. No, but if I can make it down there, even if it's just to hang out with you guys or something, because it's not that long of a drive, maybe. But of course, that shooting this last weekend really gave me pause. So
that's true. But a lot of fireworks.
Well, and Chicago's bad. That's the problem. Chicago's really bad. So
mostly the South Side, but yeah.
No, I know, but it's been getting bad for a while.
Yeah.
It's starting to creep up into Kenosha and Milwaukee.
I agree. Chicago is really, really bad.
Yeah. Sorry you came in late, Saka.
Back it up. We got a great show for you.
Yeah,
nice
check it out.
2 hours.
It's a good one. But I appreciate you guys coming on.
It was
always.
out of sight.
It's out of sight.
It wasn't ghastly in the least.
You'll get those references on the replay. It's not greasy either.
No.
But I think
hopefully you love your father's stew.
Yeah.
I hope it's good.
And if you had
my dad makes some good stew.
If you had a horrible experience with a girlfriend before, so
yeah, she may be a girlfriend from hell. But some days you'll have days of thunder.
Possibly some secondhand
Smokey
Lions.
and the Bandit.
But I appreciate it.
That one didn't work.
No.
Maybe you'll take a trip to the mall,
And
rats.
see some mall rats.
Mall rats.
Yeah, and see some mall rats.
Just make sure you don't do it in the back seat of the car.
Yeah, like the back of a Volkswagen.
Yeah, like the back of a Volkswagen. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah, I was
Very
gonna say I
uncomfortable
didn't.
place.
I was gonna say I didn't understand the joke that
I
Greg
meant to
was
say,
saying.
yeah, I was
Oh,
trying
you
to think
know,
of the
yeah,
car, but I
it's,
couldn't think of the car.
So
Yeah,
did you
no.
watch both the director or not the director's cut, but the original version of Mallrats and on that one?
Oh, and the extended.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
you
like
know,
a completely different cut of the movie.
yeah, no.
Oh,
So
yeah.
like the theatrical cut is like, I watched the extended cut first actually, and it's like it's basically this whole like subplot of what's his face
It's almost a
gets in
completely
trouble.
different film up until about halfway through, really.
Well, no, because like
Yeah.
the beginning is completely different.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and then a bunch of stuff that's changed throughout because of that, and then the ending is different too, isn't
No,
it?
it's funny because like what was the whole joke? What's his name? Not Brody, the other kid.
What is
Um,
it?
Oh,
Oh,
the
Jason
other
Lee's character.
Jason Lee, not
Not-
Jason
not-
Lee's
not
Or
character.
not,
Jason Lee. Not Jason
That's
Lee.
what is
Brody.
his name? Yeah, Jason Lee's brother. The other guy's named Jeremy London.
Yeah, Jeremy London's character. What's his character's name? 'Cause, like,
Hooper is the black guy, so it's got to be
I can never
because they're all
remember.
Jaws character names. It's Brody, Quint.
TS.
Yeah,
That's
T.S.
his
Quint.
Quint. Yeah, T.S. Quint. T.S.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? Yeah, like there's this whole subplot of him like getting in trouble because he like shot a rifle or something, or whatever, and he
Oh,
gets
yeah,
it stuck
yeah.
on the girl's hair, and he
But
like
yeah, I'm not a fan of the extended version. It is very different, but it's interesting to have.
No, it's funny because like there's that scene like the elevator part, and Ben Affleck's character is like, hey, aren't you the guy that did this or whatever? And then you watch the theatrical cut, and that scene is that bit is completely cut out.
A lot
Yeah.
of it was, weren't you the guy on CNN, or weren't you the guy that shot the mayor, or weren't you the guy that
Yeah,
shot the
yeah,
president?
yeah,
It keeps
yeah,
getting
yeah.
worse
Yeah,
and
yeah.
worse and worse.
Yeah, exactly.
And then in the theatrical version, they just keep changing it to, aren't you the guy that just broke up with Brandy Spenning or whatever?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
just
yeah.
think of that. Yeah.
Yeah. It was,
Because you have
yeah,
the
it
one
was
guy where he
that.
punches, is like, hey, ain't you the guy that broke up with Brandy Spenning? He just turns around and punches him or whatever. And the original one is like, hey, didn't I see you on CNN?
No, but I remember the part where Brody and what's her face?
Brandy or Brody and you're talking about
The
on the
ex-
elevator?
Yeah, in the elevator, the ex-girlfriend is taken out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like as soon as they get in, like Ben Affleck like tells Jeremy London TS he was like hey, weren't you the guy that shot the guy, or weren't you the guy in CNN or whatever? But then in the theatrical cut, that bit of dialogue from Ben is completely cut out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty much what I was saying. Is they had to
Yeah.
alter all the rest of the film. So
It's
like,
it's like the only difference really with the extended cut is that one subplot, and that's it.
Yeah.
'Cause
actually,
in
it's
the
quite a bit of a difference if you
it's
look at
pretty,
it.
it's pretty good balance that's
it's a
different
bit-
in it.
I mean, it's a
The
bit-
ending is different too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like the whole first third of the film is different outside of the stuff that's recut in different ways. And then, yeah, like the middle 2/3 portion of the film is ostensibly the same until you get to the game show. And then once you get to the game show, that's when the ending is different because they reshot a bunch of shit for the game show.
Yep.
But yeah, otherwise all that beginning in the theatrical cut is in the theatrical cut is cut down in some reshoots. Otherwise, it's just recut from the other version. You're right, but like, yeah. And then it's fixed with a bunch of ADR.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. Is
Yeah.
They have, instead of the guy going, "Hey, weren't you the guy I saw on CNN?"
Yeah. So
He's
you-
like,
you
"Yeah,
break up Brandy
aren't you the guy
Spenning?
that just broke up with Brandy Spenning?" So that's
Yeah.
most of the time what they changed it to. Yeah.
So
But in that other version, it keeps ramping up because it starts with like, "Didn't you shoot, or didn't you try to shoot the mayor?" And it's like, "Didn't you shoot the mayor? Didn't you shoot the president?" or something like that. It keeps getting worse. It's like,
but yes, like I said, thank you guys for coming on. Check out Tom.
no, I actually like Mallrats quite a bit, and it's sad.
Yeah,
I wish Kevin Smith would get his head out of his fucking skinny ass. Anyway, sorry, Greg.
Yes, I agree. I agree with you 100% on that because it's a shame that he was that he would become what he become. But yeah, you guys go check out Tom on Midnight's Edge, Midnight's Edge After Dark, Midnight's Edge Radio, which you restarted up again, right? It's a new one. And
yeah, unfortunately, the original is down still for another roughly a little over a month yet, and so I had I had another Mead Radio 2, Mead Radio. And then I had another Mead Radio 2, but I got locked out by Google because I didn't use it, evidently. So I had to start another Mead Radio 2. So this one's actually with the number 2. So if you're looking it up, but yeah, so for the next month or so, I'll still be hanging out there for a little bit. And then hopefully I'll be able to pop back over to the regular one. But yeah, that's the case with that. But otherwise, no, just the regular stuff every Monday, Wednesday, Friday on Morning Show, and Tuesday and Thursday on Mead. And Wednesdays we do 4K for you in this show. So yeah, also Tuesday tirades and stuff like that. So like that's my main stuff I do. So there you go.
So go check them out. Go check out
and A-rated B movies and B-rated A movies.
Oh yeah, you bring it. Yeah.
Whenever I get a chance to get script down, because he's a tough one to nail down sometimes.
Yeah, and go check out Runner on his channel. It's all these links. I put them in the description for you guys, so you can go check out the channels. Check out videos on my channel if you haven't seen. And I did pose a question on my community tab about the Scream stream. It looks like people want us to do the Scream stream, so we'll have to figure that out one day. The hell?
That was me.
It scared the shit out of me. I thought it came from behind me. I was like, what the hell was that? But yeah, we'll figure that out. Oh, and we got a $2 super sticker real quick from Shirley to God. It's hey you
pair.
By the way, that's my brother. So
well, nice to meet you, Greg's brother.
Yeah. Yeah, Scream stream. He was messing with me. Wrap it up.
It needs to happen at some point.
Yeah. So yeah, it looks like people want
like scary movies.
Yes, we'll have to figure out a good day to lock it down. We maybe not this coming Wednesday, but maybe next Wednesday we'll do the physical media show Scream stream, but not this coming Wednesday.
Or we can just try and find a separate day to do it too. I'm sure there's some other people would like to be involved or something.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll get to it, and we'll give that for you guys. And
we'll try to have some discussions.
Yeah,
I got to rewatch 2 and 3 again anyway. So
maybe
we should do it. When does 2 come out again on 4K? Supposedly
October.
Maybe we can do it in conjunction with that, perhaps.
Yeah, maybe we'll do it then. And then we'll give you guys our thoughts. I need to watch Scream 4 again too, mostly for that.
Yeah, I need to. Yeah, 4 as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? And I'll bite the bullet again and rewatch 5.
I'm not rewatching 5. That movie can suck a dick.
I still haven't bought it.
I'm never buying it.
I'll buy it.
I mean, I'm a
cheap.
completionist, but
me too. But I can't get that.
There's a couple I haven't lately. Even the Marvel movies, I used to buy every one of those.
Same here.
I mean, I'm not a completionist either, but I kind of want to get the new shitty one for cheap. Like super cheap.
That movie.
I'll just wait for Black Friday on that one because I guarantee you that'll be like a $9, $10.
If I were to buy that, I would take the shotgun and I would shoot it. So I can't get that movie.
I was gonna say I'll get it for like Black Friday cheap, like Tom said.
And Scream stream will be awesome. Yep. And thanks, man. Appreciate it, my bro. And as we close it out, thank you guys. I would say all your guys' name in the chat, but I'm going to close it down. But so thank you everybody in the chat. Thank you for everybody watching. And as I get ready to close it out, fuck your Best Buy runner. So that was not said tonight. So that had to be said. And you know the rules around these parts.
How you doing?
Bitches leave.
Bitches leave.